Homecoming has come to the high hills of Shelby County as the Helena Huskies take on the Benjamin Russell Wildcats live from Mark R. Hall Athletic Complex. Drummond Company Friday Night Rivals presented by Mesrano Law Firm. Hello, everybody. James Red along with Rick Cleveland. And Rick, this is a situation where it is a high-stakes game. Even though we're high up in the elevations, both of these teams are trying to make a big step in the region.
Well, both teams come in needing a region win. Of course, when you look at Helena is 2-3 on the season. They're 1-1 in 6A Region 3. On the other hand, Benjamin Russell comes in at 3-3, and they're 2-1 in Region 3. When you look at Region 3, you see two teams. You see Spain Park at 5-0 and Chelsea at 5-0. So these two teams here are really fighting and battling to get in that top four in Region 3 standings.
Well, both teams trying to look for a win as we take a look at our ABC 3340 keys to the game. Run game, stopping, and getting ahead in it is real key tonight.
Absolutely. When you talk to both coaches, one of the first things they said was exactly what you said. When I talked to Smitty Grider, he said, Rick, we've got to stop Helena's run game early. And then we've got to stop their explosive plays. We've got to limit them to the least amount of explosive plays as we can offensively. And then finally, Benjamin Russell must be consistent all night offensively themselves. When you talk to Richie Busby, Richie says we've got to limit those explosive plays for Benjamin Russell ourselves. And second of all, the Husky offense, he said it's important that we rush for 200-plus yards and we make zero mistakes in the kicking game. One thing I think is important, we learned prior to kickoff that Benjamin Russell's outstanding kicker, Colin Murphy, is not going to play tonight. Must be some kind of injury. But that could play a part in the game because kicking special teams, I think, in a game like this are of the utmost importance. So we'll see how that plays out for the Benjamin Russell Wildcats on the road.
No doubt about it. This is a key matchup. Helena trying to figure out a way to get back on the winning track. Benjamin Russell trying to defend their region title. It'll be Wildcats and Huskies. Dog versus cat. Stay tuned. Friday Night Rivals continues after the break. Welcome back to Mark R. Hall Athletic Complex in the high hills of Shelby County on the campus of Helena High School. James Red along with Rick Cleveland. And it is time for our coin toss, and that was brought to you by the Shops of Grand River. Helena won the toss, and it has deferred. And remember, Shops of Grand River, you save even more at Birmingham's only outlet center. It is a crowded stadium tonight because it's homecoming 2024 before the game. And as you see, our coin toss. And it was Helena who won it, and they have chosen to defer. So that means Benjamin Russell's offense will be center stage as we get ready for kickoff. Let's go down to Austin Pratt, who will have more on the game. Austin?
Yeah, guys, we got great weather here tonight. I was able to speak to both coaches just before the game. They're both feeling good. Lots of energy out here for homecoming. That's all we got right here down here at the field. I'm going to send it right back up to you guys up in the booth.
All right, thanks a lot, Austin. Yeah, I think mum's the word because this is high-stakes football that we're playing tonight. Both teams are trying to keep pace with Calera and also Spain Park.
Well, you have two really good football teams here, and two outstanding coaches in Smitty Grider for Benjamin Russell and Richie Busby here at Helena. And I want to tell you, this is a beautiful night for high school football, and we are up high. It's a beautiful complex, and this is really what high school football is all about.
And there's the coach, Richie Busby, for one of the assistant coaches for Helena right there as we get ready for kickoff. And our kickoff tonight will be brought to you by People's Bank of Alabama. At People's Bank of Alabama, we care about people.
There's going to be some really outstanding players. When you look at this Benjamin Russell offensive team that's going to have the ball first, you want to really watch number one, Sedarian Morgan. Outstanding high school football player. A lot of people compare him to the great Malcolm Simmons, who's now playing at Auburn University.
Good kick by Austin Lewis, the kicker for Helena, kicks it out in the back of the end zone. And now it'll be up to Benjamin Russell and their quarterback, Elijah Johnson, who will be taking center stage here as they bring the ball out to the 20-yard line.
We say every week now, James, that is the best kickoff coverage that you can have.
Yes, sir.
Kick that ball in the end zone. Defense just sprints to the end zone. You don't have to cover. You don't have to tackle. You just take it on the 20-yard line. And let's play football.
And we're ready to play. Johnson, the only fact they had a little movement, and it'll be a flag.
Yeah, and that's something you got to keep an eye on here. Benjamin Russell gets with an H-back, and their H-back lined up right there on the left side, which was the strong side. You got three linemen over here on the left side and two over on the right, so your strength is here with that H-back right there, and they're going to line Sedarius Morgan right behind him.
Now 1st and 15. They're going to keep it on the ground, try to establish the run, runs into a lineman, and bounces off. And that's T.J. Wilson with his first carry.
T.J. Wilson's a senior, and I'm telling you, Smitty Grider thinks a lot of this young man. They'll alternate him in and out some. They'll bring in Corey Marbury and be number 23. You'll see him in there a bunch some as well. So this running game is huge. But the most important player on that field is number one for Benjamin Russell. You want to keep an eye on him.
Now they put LaJavius Calhoun in the backfield, agent 0. He's a good return man, good speed. They move the tight end in motion to the far side. Here comes Calhoun, and he is wrapped up right away. Fred Grooms right there to lead the way on the tackle.
Tried to run the sweep out of that formation, and when you watch this play here, not much there. Wilson hands the ball off to the running back, and that's a guy that I don't even have on my depth chart right there, so we don't have to find him. But
yeah, that's Mr. Calhoun. He's normally their return man.
Yeah, not much running room there.
So 3rd down and long, 17 yards to go for the first. They're going to go with 3 wide receivers on the far side. Johnson with plenty of time. Now he's getting some pressure, gets rid of the football, and incomplete. The defense holds for the Huskies.
And Helena's going to have great field position that time. Who did we look to? Johnson looks directly at Sedarian Morgan, and he was double covered, so wasn't much room there to get a ball in there.
Good push by the defensive line to apply some pressure. Grooms was right there to say hello.
We talked a little bit about this kicking situation. You'll see, and he is wearing number 17. We both had him 18 on ours.
Right.
But it is Micah Murphy that's back there to punt for the Wildcats.
Low snap, and he's got to do something with it. The ball is loose, and it looks like Helena may have it on the 1-yard line.
That's a mistake you just don't want to make in the kicking game. We talked about in the keys to the game early in the game. both coaches said, you know, the kicking game is going to be huge, and Helena gets the opening break here. You get a bad snap, a low snap, and what you really want to do on this snap is you want to get out of the end zone. You just want to get the ball, lay down in the end zone, and now you've given them the best field position you can give them.
No doubt about it. Acosta getting that loose ball and getting credit for the fumble recovery. So now it'll be the offense for the Huskies led by Nate Ferguson, the junior, his first year as a starter. They give it to Spratling, and Spratling is in for the score, and just like that, put 6 on the board. A Mr. Sparky touchdown for the Huskies, and it only took one play, and they're in, and they have the 6-0 lead.
When you're Richie Busby, you got your OC Keith Maple up in the press box, and Keith calls right off the bat, gets in an overload situation on the right side, and just runs the lead right over that right side.
Austin Lewis for the point after attempt.
This kid's something special too. This 92, the kicker, Austin Lewis. He's got a strong leg.
Kick is up and good, and off of a botched punt snap and a fumble, it's an easy 6 points for the Huskies.
That's a good run there. They just overloaded that right side, and it was an easy 1-yard touchdown run right over right guard. Didn't ask for a better situation there, pal. I mean, you just, you know, James, you get the ball on the 1-yard line off a botched punt, and that's a tough go right there for Benjamin Russell.
Know what's below. Contact 811 before you dig. Alabama 811. Call before you dig. And right now, the fans at Helena are definitely digging this 7-0 lead as we get ready for another People's Bank of Alabama kickoff. And Helena won the toss and deferred, and they were able to get a loose ball off of a botched punt snap at the 1-yard line and able to get a 1-yard plunge for the score.
Now Smitty Grider's just got to get his bunch gathered back together and say, guys, we just got to forget that. We got to move on. That play's over. We gave up the score early. We'll make it up. We got plenty of time to make it up. Let's just play football the way we plan to play.
And our officials are ready, and they're ready to kick it off.
That official didn't want to give that ball to Austin Lewis there.
He said, I'm going to hold the ball until it's time to go.
Well, this is definitely a huge advantage for Helena. Number 92 is one of the outstanding kickers in high school football. And you watch him kick it. He's got a future in front of him.
People's Bank of Alabama kickoff. At People's Bank of Alabama, we care about people, and it is, once again, a touchback.
Now, that's something, James, that we're going to have to look at in high school football. Every other level of football has changed the way they cover kickoffs.
Correct.
And we saw a tragedy last week in Mobile.
At T.R.
Miller player, and our prayers go out for boy, I'm telling you, it's tough for Ken Lee Jr. and Ken Lett Jr., I'm sorry. And he's going to be admitted to Spain rehab over in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. So now we're going to take a look and see if Elijah Johnson can get his offense going. They're going to keep it on the ground. They're trying to find something, but not able to get much.
Let me fix that. Kenlett Jr. is going to be admitted to the Shepherd Center in Atlanta, which is a rehab, and you probably know a lot about it too.
Yes, no doubt.
And that's great news, and we're excited for that. And while we're on it, I want to mention this. Hope our people that are listening and watching will be in prayer for Ben Thomas, our dear friend from AL.com. He and Michelle lost their daughter this week. Little Maxie.
Second down and 8. Johnson scrambling, going to throw one long, trying to find a receiver, and in and out of the hands of Cedarian Morgan. But there is a flag on the play. Coverage was DeAndre Gray, and it appears it may be pass interference.
Well, it was pass interference, and Morgan had beaten the corner over there, and that's a good throw right there too. The defender pushes off. And really he saved a touchdown, because if Morgan catches that ball, it's going to be a touchdown.
No doubt about it. That's our first opportunity to see Mr. Morgan close up. He stands 6'4", 215. And for DeAndre Gray, he's only 5'9". Let's see what the official call is.
It's first down.
And in high school, it'll only be 15 yards.
That's a good play. I mean, defensively, he did the right thing. He pushed him off so he couldn't make the catch. And had Morgan caught that ball, he'd have went to other 45, 50 yards.
No doubt.
I need to correct myself again.
Okay.
Ben and Michelle Thomas lost their granddaughter this past week, and Maxie was laid to rest today in Daphne, Alabama.
Johnson finds a receiver, and now we see the talent of Cedarian Morgan right there. Gets enough for a first down. Looks like he'll have enough to move the chains. It'll be enough for the shots of Grand River first down.
That's a good job right here. Watch that defensive end jump up and block his vision. Throws the ball out to Morgan in the right flat, and look at Morgan. He just ducks his head and picks up a long yard. That's probably a 15-yard gain there.
Close to midfield, ball now at the 49-yard line of Benjamin Russell. They're going to send Morgan in motion to the near side. Send their tight end over to the far side. Wilson on the carry, does a nice step back and able to get about 5 yards on the carry before he's brought down. DJ Williams and company there on the tackle.
Yeah, you look on that right side over there, and you got Aiden Zinsky, and that was Dean Lacey. And boy, these are some good names. I'm going to tell you, play guys, you got a hard night. But then over at center, you got Chandler Patterson. That right side did a great job that time, and Wilson did a great job cutting on the dime there.
Second down and short. This time another botch play. Good blitz there, and a great call by the defensive coordinator because they caught him, and Jonathan Roberto able to make a good play to sort of smash things up.
Well, Roberto is right there, right when at the mesh point, and you notice that Wilson tries to hand the ball off, and Johnson tries to hand the ball off, and boy, there's the mesh point, and there is Jonathan Robertson, and he's just a sophomore, so there's a lot of good days in front of him.
Third down and long now. They need 9 yards for the first. They need to get deep into Helena territory. Flare pass out to Wilson. Wilson's getting some room to run. He may have enough for the first down before he's knocked out of bounds. Bryce Banks there to push him out of bounds, and it looks like it's enough for another shots of Grand River first.
Here's Johnson, just throws the ball out in the flat to Wilson. Wilson, get that ball in that outside arm, son. You got that ball in that inside arm, and you strip it like that. You want to get that ball in the outside arm so you can use that arm to push those defenders away.
Rodney Greer in at running back. They're going to flare it out to Greer. Defender steps down and slips down, and Greer is off to the races, down inside the 20, down to the 10-yard line.
That's the explosive plays that Richie Busby talked about. They got to stop. You're going to see this. You're going to see that back get out into the flat, throws the ball out into the flat to him there on a little 5-yard out, and then he just does his job. Great job right there by the defense to prevent him from scoring a touchdown because he had that sideline.
His first reception of the game, Rodney Greer, just a sophomore for the Wildcats. Wilson on the carry, trying to find some room to run. He really can't find anything. Roberto and company right there to wrap him up.
You know, when you watch Wilson, I love that sportsmanship right there. You see that from Brett Berry, from Helena. He gives Wilson a hand and picks him up. Now, some coaches don't like that, but as an old retired coach, I love to see kids doing that.
No doubt. Second and goal.
If I'm Helena, I find number 1.
Inside run, looks like he's got enough, and into the end zone, touchdown, T.J. Wilson.
I think there's a flag on
And
the
it
play.
looks like we may have a flag on the play.
There must have been some motion. Yeah, it's illegal procedure, I think, on the offensive line.
So that will negate the touchdown by T.J. Wilson and move them back some yards. False start.
I think the play was blown dead initially.
So now that'll move them back to the 12-yard line.
Well, and this is where you got to be real leery of number 1. Sedarian Morgan's got about a 4-inch. He's 4 inches taller in that corner, and they get one-on-one. That's a tough job to hold there.
Johnson getting some pressure, trying to find Morgan. Now he sees him, throws it up, alley-oop, and wow, he had it in his hands, just couldn't bring it down. Great defensive play. Kevin Pincard right there on the coverage.
That's a great job by Johnson to scramble, gather himself up, and then throw across his body all the way into the right end zone. Try to get the ball to Morgan. Watch him. Here he goes. He's going to bat himself up here. That ball probably should have been caught. Yeah.
Third down and goal from the 12-yard line.
You know, this is a unique situation we're seeing here. Smitty Grider's the head football coach. He's also calling the plays.
Offense. That penalty decline. Third down.
There you see Smitty Grider.
And there was a penalty against Helena, against Benjamin Russell. Helena has declined.
Did they call pass interference? I didn't.
That would have gave him a first, but it's still third down.
I'm talking about offensive pass interference.
Johnson eludes one defender, throws it, finds his tight end, and quickly wrapped up and brought down. Good defense by Lane Harris, able to bring down Lation Dean.
All right, so here we go with Benjamin Russell going to kick a field goal here, and we're going to be anxious to see who kicks this ball because their regular kicker, Colin Murphy, is injured. So it's going to be about a 27-yard field goal.
Logan Rich, the freshman, his first opportunity to kick. Kick is up, and it is no good. And the defense holds for Helena. 7-0 your score still, as Helena has an early one-touchdown lead. We'll take a break. We come back. We'll see if Helena's offense can continue their winning ways as they're up 7-0. Stay tuned.
Fans on Monday, October 14th, the Helena Athletic Field is having their 5th annual golf tournament. For more information or questions, please contact Ben Peters at bpeters35080@gmail.com. Please help support our Helena High School and Helena Middle School baseball and softball programs by participating in this year's Diamond Club Golf Tournament at Kinsey Run Golf Club on Monday, October 14th.
At ACT Equipment, we beat the competition's prices for new tractors by 15% on average. Act now, 205-379-8292, or visit actequipment.net for more details. First down for the Huskies. Quick pass, finds a receiver, able to get a few yards on that gain. That's the first opportunity we get to see the offense in something other than the best opportunity possible. Gavin Franks on the reception, Nate Ferguson on the pass.
Ran that little back out into the left flat, wide open there. He cleared out that corner with the receiver, catches it underneath there and gains about 4 yards. Pretty simple play. Gives Ferguson a chance to throw an easy pass early.
Ferguson with time. Now he's going to run it. Has some room to run and gets out beyond the 30, down to about the 33-yard line before he's brought down, and that was LaJavius Calhoun in on the tackle.
Good job up front. That was Barnett, McNeil, Chandler, Vines, Berry. Gave Ferguson plenty of time to throw the ball, and you know, if he's got that kind of time to throw, they're going to be able to make a lot of dents in that Benjamin Russell defense.
Another Shops of Grand River first down for the Huskies. Keeping it again is Ferguson, and Ferguson this time gets pushed out of bounds. Rodriguez Glenn and others right there to push him out of bounds.
Well, you look up there and they line that fullback up there, an H-back, and Connor Geedy, and Ferguson just runs the ball for about 15 yards. Looked like a face mask right there that was missed.
So now 2nd and 5. They may have called that incidental.
They have. That's, you know, and they can't call everything. And we're lucky to have great officials in this Birmingham area.
No doubt. End around for Nathan Jones. Here comes Nathan Jones. Has some room to run, enough for a first down into Benjamin Russell territory.
You know, this is a really good play. And you know, some coaches call it a speed sweep out of with the wing back. He's coming across. It's a good block there. I don't know if that was a legal block, but he got away with it.
Ball out to the 42-yard line of Benjamin Russell. Ferguson now getting pressure, just throws it away.
I'll tell you right now, that was a good throwaway there. Ferguson was in trouble, about to get sacked, and he throws the ball. He's sprinting to his right, throws the ball out of bounds, and that's a good decision by a young quarterback.
2nd down and 10 now from the 41.
Helena's got a bunch of seniors on that front line. They got 4 seniors on that starting line, so that's kind of who they hang their hat on.
Ward going in motion. Here comes Ferguson again. He's going to keep it. Eludes one defender, tries to keep his feet, but they say his knee went down right at the 44.
Well, you look at big number 8, that's Caleb Spivey, and I'm going to tell you, he's a heck of a football player. He's only a sophomore. Watch this block right there. Boy, he comes in and makes a great block on that outside linebacker. Ferguson goes right around right end, and his knee did hit the ground there. Good call by the official.
So now looking for a 3rd down conversion. They started this drive deep in their own territory. Quick pass, reception made. And that was Isaiah Kinney on the reception.
Kenny's a sophomore. Had a good catch there in traffic. Not afraid to go across the middle. Good for Ferguson to be able to look that little drag route inside there and made a good throw right there between 2 defenders.
His 5th reception of the year. First down from the 30. Keeping it again is Ferguson. Ferguson have some room to run inside the 10-5. Touchdown, Nate Ferguson. Another Mr. Sparky touchdown. And just like that, they're up 13.
Boy, that is a really good read by Ferguson. Ferguson reads that defensive end who went with the fake, pulls the ball, sprints in. I don't know how many yards it was, but I'm telling you, he
30 yards.
30 yards. He outran the linebackers and the secondary to the end zone. That's really a good play right there. We'll see that, I'm sure, after the extra point. This is a young man you want to watch. Austin Lewis, one of the best kickers in this state.
And another successful kick, and just like that, Helena has put 14 on the reigning region champion, Benjamin Russell.
Well, that was a great read by quarterback Nate Ferguson. You don't see it here. It's a good block right there from the right tackle. There he goes. He's just going to split the secondary. And right between those two right there, in between both Glenn and Caleb Robinson, and into the end zone. Boy, that's
So now Benjamin Russell has to work themselves out of a 14-point deficit. As you can see, they're still trying to work on Ferguson's arm. Got to make sure he's okay. So another People's Bank of Alabama kickoff. Remember, People's Bank of Alabama, we care about people. And so far, Austin Lewis has kicked it out the back of the end zone 2 consecutive times. And let's see, does he make it 3?
yeah.
Oh, and it is another touchback.
Well, he's got a great leg, I can tell you right now. And I'm sure there's lots and lots of universities that are watching that young man, because he not only kicks it deep, he gets it up really high. He's up here eye level with us in the press box and high.
So if you're Smitty Grinder right now, what are you trying to do offensively?
Well, first thing we need to do is we need to give that defense a break. We need to have a long, sustained drive here, at least 8 to 9 plays to give our defense a break. They just had an 80-yard drive, and we need to give them a break. So we're going to run the football. We're going to try to get the ball in Sideri and Morgan's in his hands as much as possible, but we got to run some clock too.
They're going to spread it out with 5 wide receivers. Give Johnson every opportunity to throw it. He's throwing long for Morgan, and incomplete, just overthrows him. Had Kevin Pincard on the coverage.
When you got a player like Morgan, you got to put some air under that ball and just let him run to it. You really got to throw it out in front of him too, not over him, so he can run to the ball. And that's a mistake by Johnson there. But I'm sure Smitty he'll take care of that. Kind of surprised at that call on first down, though, because you want to give that defense a break. That doesn't give them much of one if we don't get a first down here.
Trying to keep it on the ground now. They're able to find some success, 1, possibly 2 yards on the carry.
Well, this is a big down here. If Helena can hold Benjamin Russell and not get a first down here, then you're going to put that Benjamin Russell defense right back on the field after an 80-yard drive. They're going to have those hands on those hips pretty soon.
That was the first carry for Christian Smith. So now looking at 3rd and about 7. Get it over to Smith, and Smith is quickly wrapped up and brought down. And that was another good open field tackle by Austin Acosta, one of the leading rushers on the team, leading tacklers on the team.
Well, Acosta made a really good play out in the flat. You just throw the flat pass out there to your running back, and Acosta was right there to make the tackle. He'd already seen that play a couple of times, so Acosta said it's not going to happen again. And there he is, Johnny on the spot to make the tackle. That's a great play by Acosta. So here comes Benjamin Russell's defense. They got to come right back on the field. First thing we got to do for Benjamin Russell, we got to get this snap to our punter. And
no doubt.
Perfect snap.
And they do get it off. And going to have a return, has some room to run. Here come the Huskies. Huskies have a chance to go in. Touchdown. Wow, what a run. And that was Kevin Pincard on the return.
Well, Benjamin Russell just kind of, yes, they thought he was fair caught the ball. There was never a sign, never an arm up, and they just kind of stopped. And they stopped. And you'll see that in just a minute. Kevin Pincard, that's it. Boy, he's a defensive back ordinarily, but he returns all their punts and kickoffs.
Lewis with the point after. And a successful kick once again, and we have just gotten to near the end of the first quarter. Every time they touch the ball, it's been magic. Husky magic. As Pincard finds some room to run, and he takes it all the way to the house for the score. And just like that, it's 21-0 in favor of the Huskies. Homecoming here in Shelby County.
Well, I don't think he was touched. Maybe one touch initially, and then Pincard went, what, 61 yards?
Yes.
Punt now. You know, that's one way to give your defense a break.
Yes.
I can tell you that. Your defense gets a little bit of a break now after a return punt. Now they're over there resting, and Benjamin Russell needs something big now. They need something big. The Wildcats need to take the football and make some first downs. We want to make 3 or 4 first downs here. I mean, they've been kind of shell-shocked by a 1-yard touchdown, and then a drive for touchdown, and then a punt return for touchdown.
People's Bank of Alabama kickoff. And once again, this one doesn't go into the end zone, but they fumble the ball. The ball is still loose. It's still loose. But it looks, and it's just like that. Helena gets the ball again in great field position. Great job by the special teams. And that looks like that's Josh Griffin who was able to get that fumble recovery.
Good gracious. Stop and catch the ball. Hits him right in the shoulder pads. Just fall on the ball. Wow.
Coach, if we were in Colorado, I would blame it on the elevation.
Yeah.
We're high, but we're not that high.
Well, and that's something, you know, he was in perfect position to catch the football the way he's taught to catch it. It just bounced off of his chest. When that happened, Helena was Johnny on the spot down there to recover the kick, and boy, I'm telling you, this is midnight on Elm Street for
Freddie Krueger must have came up and whispered in somebody's ear. Here come the Huskies again.
Ferguson running again.
He's going to keep it. Here comes Nate. Nate the Great, and he gets inside the 10 down to about the 4-yard line.
You know, they can do RPIs out of that, and that's pretty tough to defend. Ferguson running, he makes the fake to the dive back. He runs around right end, and he's got a receiver that's out in the flat that's open, and that corner's laying back with him, and Ferguson chooses to run it. That's a good decision by Ferguson.
2 backs in the backfield, along with the H-back. They're going to give it to Stoudemire, and it's Stoudemire, Jacoby Stoudemire, in for another Mr. Sparky touchdown, and it's safe to say the route is on here in Helena.
And you notice how they switch that big tight end or H-back, Connor Guida, over from the right side to the left side, and that's exactly where they ran the football in there. And boy, that's Jacoby Stoudemire, and he's only a sophomore. So Richie Busby's got a lot of players coming back with a 27-0 lead. Lewis about to kick the extra point.
And his first touchdown of the season came in with 11 carries, 51 yards. Lewis with the point after attempt. Kick is once again good. And just like that, 28 points in the first quarter for the Huskies. For those of you just tuning in to Friday Night Rivals, there's no score mess up. Helena has said they're going to treat homecoming just like it is. Homecoming, regardless of who they face, they've come out with a strong lead.
Tall mountain to climb for the Wildcats, I can tell you that. No, they got to do the little things right, James. We got to catch kickoffs. We can't fumble the snap from the snapper. And that's a tough night so far. And you know, Helena, the Huskies have taken advantage of every opportunity they've had.
People's Bank of Alabama kickoff. Lewis kicks it again. Calhoun on the return. Here comes Calhoun. Calhoun tries to make something happen and gives him some pretty good field position. The key is he held on to the football.
Well, he did, and he kind of motioned for the other guy that was back there with him to move out of the way. He was going to catch that one, and so he caught it, and he did a great job. You notice he switched that ball to his outside arm, as he was coming across, and well, I like to see that. That means that you know, these coaches, what they're saying and teaching and coaching is, and they're listening to it. So let me tell you, Smitty Grider is a long-time successful football coach, and he's probably been in this situation in the past. I guarantee you there's not anybody any better to handle a situation like this than Coach Grider. So you won't see any non-fight from this Wildcat team.
Johnson in the shotgun looking for Morgan, going to throw it, and he does find Cedarian Morgan. He gets enough of the first down, and he's eventually brought down by DeAndre Gray. Another Shops of Grand River first down, but that will end the first quarter, and what a quarter that it's been for Helena. This may have been their most productive quarter in region play, and they do it against the reigning region champs as the Huskies have a 28-0 lead over the Wildcats. Let's see if Benjamin Russell can make something happen. Stay tuned. Second quarter coming up soon.
Yeah, we hear you.
Helena High School and the Helena community would like to welcome back 2018 graduate Richard Fitz. Richard played on 3 state final teams at Helena High and went on to have a decorated career pitching for Auburn University. In 2021, Richard was drafted by Major League.
Freddy's Frozen Custom Steak Burgers celebrate our local high schools and their athletic departments. Drop by one of our 7 convenient locations today and try our new Reese's Caramel Peanut Butter Cup Concrete, guaranteed to knock the hot off. And right now it's Benjamin Russell trying to heat themselves up a little bit as they've been cold offensively, Coach.
Well, they tried to throw a little hitch route right there, and Johnson tried to throw it out there to receiver, that another one that I don't have on my chart.
I think that's Eric Young, number 2.
Okay. Should have been caught. Johnson made a good throw. Young just couldn't bring it in. Got to make those plays. You got to make those plays when you're behind, when you're ahead. Doesn't matter. You got to make those plays. When that hits your hands like that, you got to catch it.
Johnson, with some time, finds Wilson, but Wilson is quickly wrapped up and brought down. Austin Acosta right there to lead the way.
Well, that's one thing coaches up top got to be telling Smitty, that Acosta's playing that swing pass, and he was right out there. I mean, he could have caught the ball almost. So when he sees that back flare out, then Acosta's going with him. So that's a good move by the defensive coordinator for Helena, Jim Elgin, up top. He sees that and got that down to him. Great adjustment right there from the defensive coordinator.
3 wide receivers. Morgan is on the far side. Johnson trying to get everybody aligned right. 3rd and 14. Getting some pressure. Throws it long, trying to find a receiver, and it's intercepted. The Huskies, Nathan Jones with the interception. He keeps his feet and he falls down, but a good return into Wildcat territory. Everything's going right for the Huskies tonight.
Yeah, that's an error by the quarterback. Johnson just kind of threw it up for grabs, and boy, that's a. Isaiah Jones with a big interception right there. Yeah, I guess he tripped over one of those lines, those hash marks.
There you go. I think the turf monster got him.
That got him. That's right.
So now, once again, Helena with a short field. Ball now at about the 46-yard line of Benjamin Russell. Ferguson with plenty of time. Great blocking by his offensive line, and he has a receiver into the end zone. Torrey Ward.
Boy, that's a special kid right there.
Touchdown, another Mr. Sparky touchdown.
Boy, Torrey Ward, there's a story there. I can tell you right now, he's the son of a coach, and boy, that's great to see Torrey out there shining on a homecoming night for Helena.
His 17th reception, his 5th touchdown catch of the season.
Well, it was a great throw from Ferguson, too. He laid it right out there in front of him, and Torrey Ward was right there to make the catch. Austin Lewis is going to let her tonight.
If he hadn't already, and he can't kick it too deep because we're up on a cliff.
Yeah.
And if it goes beyond that home of sign, it's going to fall about 300 feet.
Yeah, he hits that extra point. Here we're going to see right here, Ferguson. He drops back, good protection, steps up into the pocket, throws it straight down the field to Torrey Ward. Great catch. Great, that's right.
The route is on here in Helena. Stay tuned. More football coming up. All right. Coach, I did not see this one coming. Wow. Always like to thank Whataburger, the sponsor of our Whataburger Play of the Game and our Whataburger Player of the Game. Remember, Whataburger, that's where the burgers are at Whataburger.
Well, I'm going to tell you, when you look at a score like this, 35-0, Alabama fans know how this is. It's just like the Georgia game. They came out and had a great first half, and Helena's done the same thing right here tonight.
People's Bank of Alabama kickoff. And this one will go out of the back of the end zone. And LaJavius Calhoun just couldn't bring it in, but he couldn't run it out even if he wanted to.
And I love that rule. That ball's kicked in the end zone in high school. You can't return it. I love that rule. I told you before we got on the air, I think in the future we're going to see changes in our kickoff rules. College football has made some adjustments, and the NFL has made some major adjustments to the kickoff. And I hope we consider some of those changes, because I think that's the rule that needs to be adjusted.
First and 10 from the 20. Russell trying to get on the board. Quick pass. They find Morgan. And a good catch, but a good tackle made there by Kevin Pincall.
Well, Morgan runs a little out, and Johnson gets it right to him. You know, a lot of people out there, if you're an Auburn fan, you know Malcolm Simmons is a great young freshman receiver at Auburn, was on the Benjamin Russell team last year. These two receivers were really tough to handle for Benjamin Russell. That's why they were region champions.
Second down and short. Keeping it on the ground. It looks like he may have gotten tripped up by Brent Berry, which will bring up a third and short.
It's going to, he didn't make the first down marker, so it's going to be third and short. But they really, you know, even as we're supposed to be unbiased, but we're sitting here hoping that they can make some first downs to try to give that defense a break.
There you go. Because the defense has been out there for a long time. Third and 1. Still staying in the shotgun is Johnson. He's going to give it to Wilson. Wilson should have enough for the first down, and they should be able to move the chains.
That's a good block up there by Chandler Patterson. Playing center right there for the Wildcats, and boy, he did a good job clearing that up. Let's kind of look and see what they're in here. Kind of set it up for what kind of defense you're seeing with Helena. It's a good tackle right there by Jaden Harris. They're really just in a 4-3, even front. 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, 4 men in the secondary.
4 wide receivers set. Pierre Thomas is the receiver going in motion. Johnson now throwing, and he's going to throw long again. And wow, good defense. Looked like the receiver had the ball, but Lane Harris put that arm in there and just swiped it away.
That's a great job. Lane Harris, just a sophomore. You're going to see this. He made a really good play. And that's a tough throw for Elijah Johnson. He's rolling to his left and throws the ball almost 40 yards. Here we see it. Receivers got him beat. That's a great job by Harris to get his hand in there and break it up. Boy, I'm telling you. You see these defenders now, they're grabbing those inside arms when the ball hits them, and that's a good job coaching that secondary.
Second down and 10. Looking for a quick pass. Pass is made. Jamichael Greer on the reception.
Johnson's pass complete to number 16, Rodney Greer.
It's a good throw, and Greer just runs a little stop route, about a 7-yard stop route out there, and Johnson delivers it to his outside arm. It's a good throw, and they're kind of having to look for some other receivers because Morgan's probably being double covered. I would imagine Jim Elgin, defensive coordinator for Helena, they said, Coach, we got to put 2 people out there on 1.
Third and 4. Going to try to keep it on the ground, and they will be short of the first. T.J. Wilson on the carry.
Yeah, most people want Coach to go for it, but he's inside his 50. He's 35 points down. I'm not so sure I wouldn't punt it here. Looks like they're going to go for it.
Down 35-0. They really don't have anything else to lose here at this point.
That's true.
Wilson still in at the running back position. Johnson going to stay in the shotgun on 4th and 4. They need to get out to about the 44-yard line and make sure they have enough for the first. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout call.
Yeah.
And he's going to call a timeout, Coach Griner, and it's an Addiction Prevention Coalition timeout with 7:36 left to play here in the opening half. And Helena has been able to score every time they've touched the ball. Even their defense has been able to make something happen. Special teams, you name it, they've all been able to do it. And for Coach Smitty Griner, he's really got his work cut out for him.
There's no question about it, but Smitty's been around a long time and coached at some really good places. We're going to go to a break, I think.
We take a break. We come back. We'll see what Coach can do if they can figure out a way to get on the board. Their trail 35-0. Stay tuned.
Also, fans, once again, we'd like to congratulate the 2024 Helena High School Homecoming Queen, Miss Willie Levy.
A gorgeous night for football here in the town of Helena in the hills of Shelby County. James Loretta along with Rick Cleveland, Austin Pratt roaming the sidelines. And now we're looking at 4th down, and this has been a rout. 28 points in the first half by Helena. They also scored here in the second quarter. And now Benjamin Russell cannot figure out a way to consistently get their offense going.
Well, we got to cover the punt now. That's the one thing. Let's cover the punt.
Ball goes awry, but it looks like he's able. Oh, it's still loose, and it looks like Benjamin Russell may have the ball, just as we thought lightning wouldn't strike on Kevin Pincard. But we have a fumble recovery by Benjamin Russell. That looks like that's Colton Sims with the fumble recovery.
Yeah, and great job by Colton Sims to get down and cover that punt. When that ball hit the ground, Colton Sims was Johnny on the spot to get on the ball. There he's down there battling. Look at him, he covers the ball up. Good job right there, son. That's a break. No.
And they finally got a break.
That's a break.
After they didn't get any breaks for about a quarter and a half.
You know, you think what Jim Elgin is thinking now. Let's see what we can do defensively in a red zone defense situation. So here we go.
1st and 10 now, right outside the 20-yard line for the Wildcats. They're going to try to keep it on the ground. Wilson on the carry. He keeps his feet, gets inside the 20, down to about the 18.
Just a lead over right tackle that time. And what they're doing is they're switching from a weak to a strong. They're taking that tight end and bumping him from the left side, moving him over to the right side, going from weak to strong. And they're just running the dive right over there behind that big tackle. And that's a really good job by that big offensive tackle over there. Aiden Drzezinski, Carmichael Moten did a good job clearing things out that time to make them pick up about 5 yards for T.J. Wilson.
2nd down and 5 here in the Windows World red zone. Morgan going in motion. Looks like it could have been a broken play. Here comes Johnson on the run, and he's going to take that broken play and make something shine out of it. He gets knocked into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. Another Mr. Sparky touchdown. Elijah Johnson with the run.
That's just an athletic run by Elijah Johnson. He had Morgan out there in motion. We're going to try to throw the ball out into the flat to him. Not there. So Morgan just continues on upfield. Johnson sees an opening, hits it right up the middle, gets it in, and gets knocked into the end zone for a touchdown by one of the defenders.
Wildcats with the point after attempt.
Good job.
And it is good. So a shutout will not happen tonight, but Benjamin Russell is starting that climb to try to get back into it, and here's the quarterback making magic.
Well, watch this run, boy. He got that ball held up high. Don't hold that ball up high.
Finds his way into the end zone.
It was Jonathan Roberto that comes in and hits him really hard, knocks him into the end zone. Here he comes backside over here. Bam, knocks him in there.
As they say, Coach, that's why you wrap up. Huh?
That's exactly right. That's what the defensive coaches are going to be saying, guys. We don't want to help them any more than we have to. We want to lock up and take them to the ground, not push them or knock them forward. You might hit a good lick. I mean, yeah, you hit a good lick, but you also knock him into the end zone. So that's good. That's good for right there for Benjamin Russell. They need to get on the board. They get something positive. Yeah, we got a little more than 6 minutes to go in the first half, and you know if Benjamin Russell can get something on the scoreboard one more time, you know they got a chance to come back in the second half. Let's see what they do defensively now against this really good.
Logan Rich now to kick. People's Bank of Alabama kickoff. And this will be a short kick and fair caught at about the 26-yard line by the up back.
Well, and that's probably the first time he's kicked off this year, because most of the time Colin Murphy's been kicking off for him. And that young man comes in and kicks the extra point and then kicks off. And, you know, they don't have really great field position at the 26-yard line.
So only the second time tonight we find the Huskies having to drive the length of the field. They had to start on their 20 after a missed field goal. So now they're going to start at their own 26-yard line.
Well, and the thing that Helena's really lived off of has been Nate Ferguson running the football. Let's see if they do the same here.
Going to keep it on the ground. Here comes Jeremy Spratling. Spratling has some room to run, and he gets pushed out of bounds, enough for the first down. He's their leading rusher on the team with a little bit over 500 yards rushing. Jeremy Spratling. Another Shops of Grand River first down.
Yeah, he just took the ball, and that's, you know, there's a little mix-up right there. Ferguson looked like he wanted to keep the ball, James, and but Spratling just took the ball and goes around left end and gets on that sideline and picks up, what, 15, 16 yards.
From the 43-yard line, they're going to keep it on the ground. Spratling again, but this time he goes nowhere fast and gets submarined and brought down by Noah Long.
I didn't get a chance to talk to Coach Busby about what they're doing offensively, but it looks like to me that they may be reading a little bit. Ferguson has the option to either give or to keep and to hit a receiver out in the flat. He's got a receiver out there every time. The problem with that is when you do run your you run those RPIs, you might have an offensive lineman downfield. So that's a problem Ferguson has to deal with.
And that one's incomplete. Make sure you stay tuned. The Avadian Credit Union halftime will be coming up next in a little bit over 5 minutes of playing time. And some interviews and updates going on at the Avadian Credit Union halftime. Stay tuned for that during halftime.
You know, when you look at that pass play, it wasn't fundamentally sound, and that's something Coach Busby will talk to Ferguson about. Just kind of got to get the ball directly to your receiver.
Looking for a receiver, and that one knocked away and incomplete. And it'll be a punting situation now for the Huskies. The defense for Benjamin Russell holds.
Did a great job there, and that's what we wanted to see. We wanted to see them get off the field and maybe give that offense an opportunity to maybe put points on the board with over 5 minutes to go in this first half. I don't think Coach Busby he'll be real happy with that offensive series.
Lewis to kick. Getting some pressure, but he gets it away, and Boone's one. And it's going to take a Husky bounce, but it's returnable. And here comes Calhoun, and he's quickly wrapped up and brought down. But he does secure the ball right at the 20-yard line.
He took a big chance taking that big bounce.
Yes,
he took a big chance, but he caught the ball and made some positive yardage.
So now the offense will try to end the quarter with the score. They've got 5 minutes left. Not saying this is their final possession, but they could run out the clock if they get a long drive to go.
Well, and that's really what you're looking for as a coaching staff. You're looking to see that your offensive line gets really aggressive and makes some holes for the running backs. And Wilson has shown the propensity to run the ball through those holes. So let's make sure that, that Benjamin Russell gets a good drive here. And, and that's what they're looking for.
Keeping it is Ferguson, and Ferguson, check that, Elijah Johnson on the carry, and he gets maybe about 2 or 3 yards.
Well, and you know, both of these teams do RPOs, and that time Johnson had the chance to throw it out to a receiver, but instead he kept the ball going right up the middle, and there wasn't a lot of running room there. So it's a good job by Austin Acosta and that defense of Helena to stop that run.
2nd down and 6 now for the Wildcats. They trailed 35-7. They were able to get on the scoreboard on their last possession. Johnson finds Morgan. Sadarian Morgan, good stiff arm there, and he uses his shoulder to get an extra yard.
Well, Morgan does not have a problem going head on with a defensive back.
4 minutes and 24 seconds.
Look at this pressure right there by 20.
He drops that shoulder.
Sure does. Good job by Fred Grooms to put pressure that time on Johnson, but just right before Grooms got to him, Johnson got it right on that drag route into to Morgan.
Christian Smith in the backfield along with Johnson. They're going to give it to Smith. Smith trying to find some room. Good cutback, and he's able to get out to about the 35.
You know, it looks like there's not a good mesh point there with Johnson and Smith. It just doesn't look clean. And you know, anytime that's going on, you worry about a fumble or something like that. But they've been able to overcome that.
Second down and 5. Benjamin Russell trying to keep the momentum their way after scoring on their last possession. Wilson, the only back in the backfield with Johnson. They're going to give it to Wilson. Wilson breaks 2 tackles and able to get some yardage. And it looks like he has enough for a first down, and he does, and they'll move the chains.
You know, if you look at the adjustment that Helena's made, now when Morgan is out wide, they put a linebacker out there on him. They get him in his face, and they got another cover. So what they're doing is they're bumping him at the line of scrimmage to take him off the route, and then they got somebody out deep behind them. We're going to bring Morgan over here to this side this time, and let's see if they drop somebody on him.
Bringing in Dean, the tight end. Spreading Morgan out all the way on the far side. Keeping it on the ground is Wilson. And Wilson able to get back to the line of scrimmage and maybe 1 extra yard.
I think what Coach Grider's trying to do here is just make a sustained drive and take the ball down and try to get some points late at the end of the half and not give the ball back to Helena. And I like that. But at some point in time, you got to have a big play. Because 228, you can't just keep making 3 and 4 yards. You got to make a big play. So somebody's got to make a big play here, and that's what your playmakers do. When you look at playmakers, you're looking at Morgan, and you're also looking at Wilson. So we'll see what happens here.
Second down and 10. Pierre Thomas going in motion. You got Morgan right there looking for the ball on the inside, but Johnson's going to try to keep it. He eludes 1 defender, 2, and he's going to keep his feet, get the first down and more. Flag is thrown at midfield, but he appears to have had enough for the first down, but this may be coming back.
Well, that's a lot of running. He ran about 50 yards to make about 20, and then you're going to get a hold or a block in the back, and it's going to bump it back 15 yards. That's a great effort by Elijah Johnson there. Block in the back.
Now, they go from the spot of the ball, so if the spot is where he was ahead, he may have first down.
Right. It's depending on where they mark it off from. You're right. That was a great individual effort by Johnson.
Block in the back. Offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat second down.
That missed tackle right there.
Yep.
And he keeps his feet.
Yeah. He's got that ball out wide. He's toting it like a watermelon. You got to keep that ball inside. Keep it tight to your body, youngins.
So now it'll be second down and 11.
Yeah, that's a tough penalty right there after that effort by Johnson.
So now 3 wide receivers on the near side.
Yeah, you got to go to Morgan here.
And now Coach Grider is not happy at all. Another Addiction Prevention Coalition timeout. I think they just couldn't get the call in time.
Well, either that or they made the wrong call. I think what he's doing, he's got a player, he got one of his young players signaling in the play, and maybe they got in the wrong formation or something. If he wanted to run a certain play and it wasn't in the right formation, then he's going to call timeout. So that's a lot of times that happens. It's just a miscommunication. They had a timeout. They're okay.
And in today's high school sports, getting young people to communicate verbally is very difficult.
Well, it must be in college, too, because now they put the headsets in. They
Yes.
can make a telephone call now and get to play to them. So, you know, everything trickles down to us in high school. We'll see if that comes now. You notice they got Morgan out here, and they don't have double coverage on him. Let's see what happens.
Second down and long, 11 yards for a first. And Morgan is out there all by himself on an island on the near side. And Johnson sees him, throws it to him wide open, and he's looking for a flag, and he'll get it. And it looks like, I think Coach told J.T. Alvis, you better do whatever you need to do to make sure he doesn't catch the ball.
He sure did, and I'm sure Jim Elgin, that defensive coordinator, you're going to see it here. They wasn't going but to one guy, and J.T. Alvis is doing everything he can to keep Morgan from catching the ball, and he really does a good job, because if he catches that ball, he's going to score, and he just gives up 15 yards otherwise.
Yes.
First down.
Minute 36, I think they've still got at least one timeout. They do. They have one time. Benjamin Russell has one timeout. Helena's got all three of their timeouts, and they don't want to use a timeout, I'm sure, unless it, you know, it gets down into the red zone. Now they're going to put him over there one-on-one by himself over there. Now they bring in Alvis. See, Alvis is going everywhere Morgan goes.
Keeping it now is Johnson, and he gets close to the first down. Now, I'm not exactly sure if that was a slide, a stumble, or a tackle. Sort of like he's just stopped in his tracks.
Well, I thought he was on top of the defender. I don't know if he was really down. Let's see if he was actually down. Good ball fake. He's got the ball tucked. Is he down? Is he
Well, yeah, he touches it. See, then the other defender touches him. Alvis touches him. So just to make sure. Second down and short. Drive is still alive for the Wildcats. Now they'll keep it alive with a nice short run for a first down, and that'll move the chains.
Yeah, and that's going to stop the clock.
Another University of Alabama first down.
I like the drive. I really like what Coach Grider and his offensive staff are doing, and Johnson's doing a great job directing it. And now this is really where defensively, Jim Elgin and the defense, let's bow our necks. Let's get a stop here. This is good work for us.
Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
They got the signs and everything. That looks like something off of a board game. Johnson trying to keep his feet, getting a defender in the way. Oh, it looks like it should be a catch. Will they call it a catch by T.J. Wilson? Yes, they will, and it should be enough for a first down inside the 20.
I want you to watch T.J. Wilson come running back towards his quarterback. This is a great move by T.J. He comes back towards him, shows him his numbers, and that's exactly what Johnson is taught to do. Throw the ball to those numbers. Great job right there.
30 seconds left to play here in the half.
Time's running.
Now the clock continues to run, so now they've got to hurry up and move. They've moved the chains, so it's 1st and 10 from the 20. Time. Oh, and it goes in and out of the hands of T.J. Wilson. Incomplete.
Well, that's one the coaches are going to watch the film, and T.J., they're going to see that. T.J.'s got to make that catch. Now we just about got to throw the ball in the end zone. We got 11 seconds to go. Still got one timeout, though. Still got one timeout. You can still work in the middle of the field. Let's get it down closer and try to throw it into the end zone on the next play. Boy, that would have been a perfect time to catch it and call timeout. Good throw, too, by Johnson.
Sends Wilson back in motion. Throwing, and looks like the ball is batted down and incomplete.
That stops the clock with 6 seconds to go. Now you don't have any choice but to throw it into the end zone. And with your kicker out, 3 points is not going to help a lot here.
Right.
We need to go for 7. See who knocks this down.
Oh, nobody. It just flipped out of his hand. Now, ooh, that's
that rule. That's that NFL rule that we see all the time.
That's the Tom Brady rule.
That's exactly
rule.
right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Good call, James. You watch a lot of that NFL football.
I watch a little bit. Yes, I do.
Okay.
I did watch it then a lot.
Got to throw it in the end zone here, guys. And you look for number 1.
Johnson throwing into the end zone, looking, and incomplete. Pass intended for Greer. And that should end the first half, barring a flag. There were no flags, and that'll end the first half. Helena came out on fire, 35 unanswered points, but Benjamin Russell able to get on the board and score 7. Halftime coming up. Remember,
the
you're
receiver downfield,
Union halftime,
offense,
but this has been an
that
outstanding
penalty decline,
performance by the Huskies.
halftime.
Well, you got to give a lot of credit to those guys on offense over there. Coach Maple and that staff.
Coming up.
That's a very rare thing. What was the key into making that happen?
Well, I think a fast start for us. We've had a rough couple, 2-3 weeks coming into this game, dropping 3 in a row, but our kids knew the situation. We played some really good football teams, so we prepared coming out in all 3 phases, but then we made a mistake in the kicking game, fumbling the punt there. Kind of gave them a little life, so we got to keep our foot on the pedal. They've got an explosive offense with quarterback and receivers, so we got to continue to tackle well in space, and we got to get our ground game going, eat up some of this clock.
You obviously have a high-scoring half. It's going to be a better locker room conversation than some weeks, I'm sure. What are kind of the points of emphasis? What are the kind of big strategy of keeping this lead and, like you said, running the clock out like that?
Well, just like we talked about, we got to tackle well in space. They're going to complete some passes. They're going to get the ball out of the backfield of their running back, number 11. We got to tackle well in space. We can't have any turnovers. Like I say, our best, defense will be keeping the ball on the ground, keeping it away from them.
Well, thank you very much, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
A rare thing. What was the key into making that happen?
Well, I think Well, I think a fast start for us.
Welcome back to the Avadian Credit Union halftime show. 35-7 is your score in favor of the Helena Huskies. Austin Pratt caught up with the head Husky, Richie Busby.
Well, I think a fast start for us. We've had a rough couple, 2-3 weeks coming into this game, dropping 3 in a row, but our kids knew the situation. We played some really good football teams, so we prepared coming out in all 3 phases, but then we made a mistake in the kicking game, fumbling the punt there. Kind of gave them a little life, so we got to keep our foot on the pedal. They've got an explosive offense with quarterback and receivers, so we got to continue to tackle well in space, and we got to get our ground game going, eat up some of this clock.
Yeah, obviously have a high-scoring half. It's going to be a better locker room conversation than some weeks, I'm sure. What are kind of the points of emphasis? What are the kind of big strategy of keeping this lead and, like you said, running the clock out like that?
Well, just like we talked about, we got to tackle well in space. They're going to complete some passes. They're going to get the ball out of the backfield of their running back, number 11. We got to tackle well in space. We can't have any turnovers. Like I say, our best, defense will be keeping the ball on the ground, keeping it away from them.
Well, thank you very much, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Congratulations to the Mizraino Law Firm Scholar, Athlete of the Week.
Helena High School's Austin Lewis holds a 4.35 GPA and is a kicker and punter for the football team. He is currently the 63rd ranked kicker in the nation and the 36th ranked punter. He was also a 2024 All-Metro Honorable Mention.
And the punter. Congratulations to him. He's our Mizraino Friday Night Rival Scholar Athlete of the Week.
We are grateful to be part of such a strong community. We are always humbled.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, Mr. Sparky, and 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating.
Okay.
Rare thing. What was the key into making that happen?
Well, I think
And as you can see right now, the Husky Band giving their homecoming performance here at Helena High School. We've already had the presentation of the homecoming corps during our pregame. And now this will be the homecoming performance for the Helena Husky Marching Band. One of the advantages of having a turf field is the fact that, hey, your band can practice and your football team can practice on the field over and over again without doing any damage.
I'm here with an administrator and student from Helena High School. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to us today and the student that's with us?
Okay, I'm Ashley Bear. I'm the principal of Helena High School, and this is Denton McDonald, and he is a student here at Helena High School.
He said Denton was selected by his peers. Is that correct?
Well, he was actually selected by me to represent our school and how unified our student section is.
Well, Denton, why don't you tell me a little bit about kind of the student body and how unified it is? I see you're already in your school spirit here tonight.
Yes,
tell me a little bit about that.
So here at Helena, I play basketball, and I feel like we really unite together as a team on and off the field and courts. I feel as in the classroom aspect, we come together and unite as one. And on the field, we come out, support our football team, our band, and we really show out for everybody.
Yeah, and there's certainly a lot of school spirit out there tonight. There's a lot of people painted that look just like you. There's obviously a theme, signs, stuff like that. How cool is it to be, a part of a school that really everyone really cares and puts so much effort forth on the field or the court or anything like that?
Yeah, it's really just an honor to be a part of what Helena High School does here, and it's super exciting for everybody involved.
Well, I appreciate both of you guys for taking the time to talk with me today. With that, we're just going to go ahead and send it to our Helena Student of the Week.
Congratulations to the Mizraino Law Firm Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Benjamin Russell's Ryder Mobley holds a 4.2 GPA and is a shortstop for the varsity baseball team. Ryder was named to the All-County baseball team, and he batted leadoff during the 2024 season and is a member of SGA and National Honor Society.
For the past 10 seasons, the Mizraino Law Firm has been honored to name the Student Scholar Athlete of the Week on Friday Night Rivals. We are grateful to be part of such a strong community, and we are always humbled to serve you.
Over, they're going to come over and take us.
Halftime here at Helena High School, homecoming at the Avadian Credit Union halftime. Let's go down to Austin Pratt, who has the principal for Benjamin Russell.
Yeah, that's right. I'm here with the Benjamin Russell principal. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that new campus that you guys are building?
Oh, absolutely. So we're building, it's going to be adjacent to Charles E. Bailey. It's in Charles E. Bailey Sportsplex, adjacent to Savory Stadium. About 240,000 square feet. We're going to have a gym, brand new gym that seats about 1,260. Auditorium's going to sit close to 700. State-of-the-art career tech facilities to upgrade what we already have. Really excited about it. We're going to have a brand new track facility to already go along with our great football stadium and our softball and baseball complex.
Great, well that's certainly exciting. There's one other thing I wanted to talk to you about today, and that was a great dual enrollment program, right? Why don't you give me a little bit of the details on that?
Oh, absolutely. So we actually have a pilot program called the LEAPS program, where we have a group of high school seniors that will be graduating with not only a high school diploma, but also with an associate's degree. They're the first cohort. We have one for every grade. We also have about 150 to 160 students that are already presently dual enrolled. They do career tech classes, welding, construction, they do electrical work, nursing program, along with our academic classes as well.
That's great. Great to hear there's so much great things going on for Benjamin Russell right now. Thank you very much. I appreciate the time. And with that, we're going to send it over to our Benjamin Russell Student of the Week.
Friday Night Rivals is brought to you by Drummond Company, the Mizraino Law Firm, People's Bank of Alabama, Window World, Children's of Alabama, Avadian Credit Union, Whataburger, Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, Salvador's Pizza and Pasta, First Choice Heating and Cooling, Shops at Grand River, ACT Equipment, University of Alabama, Fortis Institute, Louis Appliance, Addiction Prevention Coalition, Alabama Dial 811, Air Experts, Wind South Credit Union, Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, Mr. Sparky, and 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating.
Homecoming halftime here at Helena, and it has been a rout so far in favor of the Huskies. 35-7 is your score for the Drummond Company Friday Night Rivals, presented by Ms. Rayno Law Firm, James Red along with Rick Cleveland. And this has been sort of a shocker. We expected this to be a closer game, but Helena's really taking advantage of their opportunities.
Well, they've had ample opportunities to score on different occasions. They scored from 1 yard out on the first possession of the game. And from there on, it's just been Katie bar the door. Or right here, you're going to see Ferguson hand it off right there, and just.
And then it's Ferguson again. He's going to keep it and take it all the way in, not known as, a runner, but he does it. And then on the the punt return, Kevin Pincard takes it 61 yards for the score.
Yeah, that's just a tremendous run by Pincard. And then they come down, and here he comes again with a great run, and here comes Pincard again. I mean, he's just kind of having his way and gets the turf burn.
And then a long pass to Torrey Ward, and then they get another one there. But look at this. Benjamin Russell doesn't have any give up in him. Elijah Johnson finds his way into the end zone, and that's where we find ourselves. 35-7 is your score. And when you think about it as far as adjustments, if you're Benjamin Russell, do you just tear up your play sheet and start from scratch?
Well, what you try to do is get the ball into the ball in your playmaker's hands, and that's what you got to do. And you got to get the ball into Morgan's hands, and Morgan's being double covered. So what do? You go to T.J. Wilson, try to get the ball in his hands any way you can. And and on the other side of the coin, Helena And just look at the Alabama-Georgia game.
Yes.
You come out in the second half and you run the clock. You run the ball, you make first downs, you keep the ball away from Benjamin Russell and those two big playmakers. And I think as you heard Richie Busby going out at halftime, he said what we need to do is tackle better in space, and then we need to run the clock, run the football and run the clock. So that's what I expect to see, and I would think that Richie's told his offensive coordinator, we're going to run the football, we're going to run the clock. We're not going to give it back to them. We're going to try to keep the ball 3-4 minutes at a time, if not more.
No doubt about it. Let's see if we can go and get some other scores. University of Alabama, where legends are made. Here's some other scores from around the area. In 6A, Chelsea with a commanding lead over Chilton County, and it's a tough one between Thompson and Hewitt-Trussville.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, when you look at, we saw Hewitt-Trussville earlier this year, and they've got the ability to win any game they play. And Thompson, of course, has struggled a little bit, but they're still leading 8-0, and they got a quarterback that can make plays anytime, anywhere, any place. So you never know how explosive Thompson can be when they're clicking on all cylinders.
No doubt about it. That Thompson and Hewitt-Trussville game is a tight one, and that's a key 7A region matchup. Chelsea looks like they have just transformed into a different team since they've moved back into 6A.
Yeah, and when you look at that 7A, there's a big game going on down south, really southeast. Auburn and Central of Phoenix City, the number 1 and 5 teams in 7A. Right now, I think at halftime, Auburn leads Central of Phoenix City 21-20. So that's going to be a barn burner, what we call, well, I'm not going to tell you what we call it. But
well, let's go to our highlights from around the country on Friday Night Rivals.
The best Thursday night lights and Friday night Rivals highlights from across the country.
Gaisford corner. That pass high and caught. One-handed catch.
Under the rain that has been steady since kickoff, and it's a fake. It's a fake running up the middle, and with the first down is Omeza Danian. Some trickery on special teams, and Green Hill converts.
On their own 3-yard line. Judkins, it's hit hard, right in the hands of Landon Crozier for the big red touchdown.
Oh, right place, right time, man. Great defensive play.
Coordinators thinking 2 plays here. Ball's on the ground. Vogel's trying to make something out of nothing, and does. He's still on his feet. Vogel to the 15, to the 10. Touchdown, Vogel! Talk about stick-to-itiveness. That play was blown up, and that young man just wouldn't give up.
Field goal attempt. If they're inside, they'll probably go for it a third time, James.
Compton trying to find a way, and he's going to run out of defenders. He still has the football. Throw it into the end zone. Is it a catch? They call it a catch. Avadian Credit Union halftime, 35-7 is your score in favor of Helena. For the Huskies homecoming, Benjamin Russell have their work cut out for them. James Red along with Rick Cleveland. This is a situation where we take a look at our ABC 3340 keys to the game to see what has happened so far and how those teams have really hit those marks. When you think about running the football, Coach, it seems as though it's been Helena who's been more effective running the football.
Well, and what they've done is Nate Ferguson has run the ball and run it well. And that's a tough option when your quarterback also runs the football. You know, you really have more blockers than you have tacklers and in the box. So Ferguson's done a great job running the football, put a lot of pressure on them. And I expect to see that a lot in this second half. The thing that Helena really needs to do is run clock. Benjamin Russell, on the other hand, has got to score and score quickly.
So now we're ready for the third quarter here at Homecoming 2024 for Helena. And remember, Helena won the coin toss and deferred, so it will be Helena who will get the ball back first, and it'll be Benjamin Russell on defense.
And the key here is you've got a young kicker who hadn't been kicking much this year. He's going to kick the ball short. Helena's going to get the ball around the 30 to 35 yard line, and if they make any kind of run, they're going to be almost to the 50. So you see the sideline over there. Benjamin Russell's fired up. They got to have a better second half than they had at first. And with a coach like Smitty Grider, you can expect them to do that. So.
And due to the long halftime, there was a flag for a delay that gives the new kicker a little bit more room, Logan Rich. So he doesn't have to kick it as far as we get ready to start our third quarter, our People's Bank of Alabama kickoff. Thank you for watching our Avadian Credit Union halftime show. Still a short kick, but returnable now for the Huskies. Trying to find some room to run, keeping his feet, and he's going to stay on his feet, keep on going, and gets knocked out of bounds. Great job by the Huskies, and he gets knocked into the stands, and that was a good run by Isaiah Kinney.
Yeah, he did a great job getting the ball to the sideline, and I'm going to tell you right now, he wasn't but about a block or two away from breaking. Good return by Isaiah Kinney. So what you're going to expect now is you're going to expect this team to run the ball. Here we go on the kickoff. Kenny gets the ball on about the 14. Got to get that ball in that outside arm, though. There it goes. Nope. Boy, that's a big collision right there.
No doubt. Knocked him underneath the bench. Now they're going to run the football on an end around Torrey Ward. They're trying to get him more involved, and he's able to get about 8 yards on the carry.
Boy, Torrey Ward's an outstanding athlete. His father was a high school coach or a college coach, college basketball coach, if I'm not mistaken.
From their own 43-yard line.
Now, you know, what you're thinking as an offensive coordinator now, what I would be thinking is I'm going to use all of that play clock. I'm going to snap the ball at about 5, and we're going to use as much time as we can use on this clock.
Second and short. Once again, Ward on the end around, but this time he's wrapped up and brought down by Noah Long.
Noah Long did a great job from his linebacker position there, and they're just trying to run. All it is just a sweep, a jet sweep right there to Corey Ward. And Noah Long comes up from his linebacker position, does a great job of reading that.
So now third down and short. Give on the inside to Spratling, and Spratling bursts across the 45 to about the 47 for a Shops of Grand River first down.
They ran that right over right guard, right tackle in that 3-hole. Just a good job there.
So now they're close to midfield.
And take your time. Let's see what they're snapping the ball. And they're even snapping it quicker than I thought.
Guida in motion.
Snapped it on 15.
And once again, they're running. And Spratling just gets dumped after the whistles continue to blow.
And that's just something that's a little bit over-aggressiveness by Benjamin Russell if they're wanting to play.
Guida is saying, no, don't do that to my running back. He's like, wait a minute, what are you guys doing? And boom.
Looks like he's riding the bull, didn't he?
There it is, there it is.
Helena's not in any hurry.
Santiago in at running back now for Helena. Throw by Ferguson and goes up and makes the catch. Great reception by the Huskies.
Is that Torrey Ward? Doesn't surprise me if that's number 8.
Number 9 can't mess with you.
Robertson.
But he can't mess with you.
What's Torrey Ward?
Yes, it was Ward again.
Outstanding athlete. Good throw right there under pressure by Ferguson.
Another Shops of Grand River first down. Dominic Santiago on the carry, and he's able to get some tough yards.
Santiago actually runs into his own offensive lineman there. And if you're an offensive lineman, you want to drive that block, get out of that hole. But Santiago's got to cut off of the fanny of that offensive lineman. That's a good throw right there. Torrey Ward goes up and makes a tremendous catch.
Second down and 9 after the 1-yard gain by Santiago. Pitch and catch, good reception there by Nathan Jones. Here comes Nathan Jones, and once again, the turf monster gets him every time. I don't know if he's got a trick knee or what.
Well, that's a little bubble screen right there. That's a good call. That's a bubble screen, and
he needs to get an extra bubble on his knee.
Yeah, Nathan just kind of tripped it. You're going to watch this. You see the fullbacks lined up right there like it a wing back, and he's out there to lead block for that bubble screen, and he just can't keep up with his receiver.
Good run by Spratling, and Spratling gets inside the 10 down to the 9-yard line for another first down.
What I like about Spratling is you watch when he runs, he's not straight up. He's bent over, he's got his shoulders square to the goal line, and he's trying to make as much yardage as he can, as low as he can.
Now first and goal from the 9 for the Huskies. They're in the Windows World red zone. Give the Spratling. Spratling gets to the line of scrimmage, may have pushed forward for a yard.
You know, they're jump into a goal line right there. Defensive coordinator for Benjamin Russell is Jason Simmons, and Jason jumped them into a 6-5 goal line that last play. Let's see if they stay base, which is their 4-3, or they jump into that 6-5 goal line down here.
Second and goal from the 7-yard line. Guida in motion. They're trying to go inside. They're going to give it to Stoudemire, and he doesn't go anywhere fast. A number of white shirts there. Noah Long leading the way for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Long had hold of his ankle, and he couldn't move. That was a good job right there by he and Michael Murphy. Two seniors, those 3 linebackers, seniors and juniors. There he gets in there right there. That's a good job. Stay low.
And we have a timeout call with 6:46 left to play here in the third quarter. And it's an Addiction Prevention Coalition timeout.
It's exactly what you want as far as Helena's concerned. They've run almost 6 minutes off the clock here to start the third quarter.
So if you're Helena at this point, do you want to continue to run the football knowing that you've got a good kicker and you've got a strong chance to come away with some points?
Absolutely. You want to run the football. I still think you run that clock down, that 25-second clock, run it down to 5 and snap the ball on 5 every time. Even if Benjamin Russell knows your count, your snap count, you know, you want to use as much clock as you can run. Now, after a timeout, of course, it doesn't matter. But when that clock's live, use all that clock. I sat there and watched Alabama the other night, and I'm telling you, just run the clock, guys. Don't give Georgia the ball back. Just don't give the ball back to them. Use every second on that
So
play
you
clock.
weren't one of those people who turned off the TV and said, okay,
No.
it's over.
No.
Let's go to sleep.
No, Kirby's teams are never going to be out of a ball game. I believe that.
All right, let's go. 3rd down and goal from the 6. Ferguson looking to throw. He can't find anybody. Keeps his feet, and now he throws into the end zone. Touchdown. Great play by Chris Brown. Another Mr. Sparky touchdown. Great job by Ferguson to Brown.
Now you got to see this play. We cannot describe this play as an analyst. It's just almost impossible. You just got to see it. Ferguson decides to run twice and then decides to pull up and throw the ball into the end zone. This is one of the most remarkable plays that we've seen in high school football this year.
And he just sort of keeps his feet and dance the night away, as I don't know when the homecoming dance is, but he got his dancing early on this one.
Yeah, he's
and the kick is good, and I think Ferguson may need to go in the high school version of Dancing with the Stars.
This is
because
remarkable.
he was doing it.
This is remarkable. He's going to throw it, then he decides to run it, then he backs out again. He's going to run it. Now he's going to throw it, so he throws it. Boy, that's a great play. I'm just telling you.
42-7. Let's see if Russell can answer. Stay tuned. When was the last time you updated your windows or doors? A world of possibilities and options are ready for you. Window World has a variety of options available. Call us at 205-916-2189 or visit us online at windowsworldalabama.com for more information. And the crowd remains, even though the route is on, 42-7 in favor of Helena. People's Bank of Alabama kickoff. And Austin Lewis has been doing an outstanding job trying to keep Benjamin Russell on their heels with his long kicks.
Well, this is, he's been pretty consistent kicking it in the end zone.
And it goes into the end zone for a touchback. So now if you're Benjamin Russell, your defense is giving up another touchdown. So do you try to just go 5 wide and just try to find some playmakers?
Well, you got to do something quick. I mean, you got to get it to the playmakers. And so far, the playmakers have been, you know, you look at their offense, and it's been T.J. Wilson, and it's also Cedarian Morgan. And, you know, the other cast of athletes have got to do their job and hope that they can get the ball into the hands of those playmakers out in space. And, you know, you got to do it quick, too, because 42-7, and Helena's going to run the football every possession.
Trying to keep it on the ground with T.J. Wilson on the carry. And it's Kevin Pinkar tries to rip the ball away. They're like, no, we're not going to call it that. No.
Now, that ball was called dead, blown dead. Oh, no. Yeah, he's down.
Yeah, oh, yeah, he's down. Clock continues to run. Now we're approaching less than 6 minutes to play here in the third quarter. It was a 28-point first quarter that really put this game into another stratosphere for the Huskies. And it's been Benjamin Russell playing catch-up ever since.
Trying to throw it out in the flat to Wilson.
Now Wilson's trying to find some room to run, but when you've got that kind of lead, a defense can just pin their ears back literally and just go after it.
Well, and that front four is really just keeping everything in front of them. And then those three linebackers, especially when you get to a situation where you got a linebacker on the weak side and there's no receiver, no tight end, you can fire that linebacker if you want to fire it, and that just puts more pressure on the quarterback. So Helena's in a pretty good situation here, as I think that Coach Elgin and the defense have got pretty much figured out what Benjamin Russell's trying to do by this time. Now you got Morgan out here by himself.
3rd and 4. They're going to keep it on the ground to T.J. Wilson. Wilson is trying to get enough, and looks like he does have enough for the first down before Brent Berry brings him down.
You know, we talk about Morgan being out here by himself. He's really not. They got a linebacker out there in his face, and they're jamming him at the line of scrimmage, and then they got a cornerback, so they're double covering him. And everywhere one goes, there's going to be 2 blue jerseys.
Ball out to the 32-yard line. Coach is still coaching him up.
Yeah, you're not going to see Smitty Grider throw in the towel. I can promise you he's going to be coaching till that last whistle blows.
Pierre Thomas, the wide receiver on the near side that just came in the game. Johnson throws, and was it a catch to Calhoun, or would they say incomplete?
Well, nobody saw it, but I thought it hit the ground.
It looked like it was a bobble, but now they got to discuss it.
Get off the field.
Let's see right here. We can send them a message. Now that ball hit the ground.
Yeah, that did touch the ground, but they're going to call it a catch. No instant replay right now for the regular season in high school football.
No, we don't have that.
So it'll be a catch. And it's the Shops of Grand River. Oh. And now we're going to have another discussion.
Get your butt in position. The ball bounced off the ground. You're throwing your hands up.
Well, I would think that Richie Busby probably said something about
unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, so somebody on the sideline said something to the official over there, and I don't know whether it was a player or a coach. I hope it wasn't a player, but so they throw the flag on him.
Well, as they, when you're beating a team, the young people point to the scoreboard. I think they may have to do that to their own team. You don't need to say anything when you got a 42-7 lead.
You're exactly right, and that just gives more ammunition to Benjamin Russell. Gives them great field position, and with a quarterback as explosive as Elijah Johnson, he can score in a heartbeat. So, that's the one thing that Benjamin Russell needs to do is they need to score quickly.
And now Helena has called a timeout with 4:05 left here in the 3rd quarter, and Coach Busby wants to talk to the official to see exactly what happened. And I know he's saying that, look, we thought it was an incompletion. They came to a meeting to try to figure out what happened.
Well, nobody saw
we'll
it.
take a break. When we come back, we'll see if Helena's defense can stop Russell's offense that's trying to drive and get on the scoreboard. Stay tuned. thank you to Benvenidos a la Arcos, offering fantastic selection of authentic Mexican and Tex-Mex dishes from street tacos, tortas to ribeye steaks. They also have vegetarian and kids meals and a wide range of cocktails, daily food specials, happy hour, and all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. They're located at 425 Helena Marketplace in Helena, Alabama. Thank you for feeding our wonderful crew this afternoon. The food looks so good. I couldn't eat it because I was afraid if I ate it, I couldn't do my broadcast because I may go to sleep. And I don't want to go to sleep up here.
So Benjamin Russell runs the stretch play there to the left side. We get a block in the back, and it's going to take them back 10 yards.
In the play, holding, offense, 10 yards to the previous spot, repeat first down.
They got a little bit of that unsportsmanlike or whatever penalty back.
First and 20. Johnson trying to find somebody. He can't, but he's going to keep his feet. And now he does find a receiver. Pierre Thomas keeping his feet. Here comes Thomas inside the 10 and eventually brought down at the 5-yard line. And there's a player down for Helena. And that looks like that's Nathan Jones. And that may be why he keeps falling down. He was cramping up.
That is Nathan Jones, and he is down. Looks like he's cramping. But, you know, you got to give a lot of credit right there to Pierre Thomas. He came back, showed his numbers to his quarterback. Here he's going to come back. Come on back. There you go. Showed him his numbers, and he was open. And that's what you got to do if you're a young receiver. You got to come back to the football. And Pierre Thomas did a great. Pierre Thomas played for your Saints, man.
Well, yes. I'm not sure if he's related to that Pierre, you know, but yes.
Boy, he is riding in pain.
I told you, it's either the trick knee or the cramps.
Boy, wow. He's holding him up.
Well, you know, when you're young and you get that cramp in your leg, you think the world is coming to an end. I mean, for real. You know, most guys have never felt that kind of pain ever.
Well, that's a tremendous amount of pain, and as you get older, those of us who played this game and other games, you wake up in the middle of the night and got one of those cramps.
Yes, but at least you're in your bed.
That's right.
He's on the field, and now he's walking it off.
Yeah.
Now, see, as they tell me, you got to hydrate the night before or you pay the price the day of the game. And right now, he's just trying to get off the field.
We got a cool night here. I mean, you know, I don't think heat's a problem. Hydration.
You gotta drink when you think you don't have to. You still got to drink some water.
We always said that you better start hydrating on Saturday morning after Friday night's game for next Friday night's game. So we still got 3:30 to go in this third quarter, and Benjamin Russell needs to score and score quickly.
In the Windows World red zone, first and goal now for the Wildcats. Throwing it into the end zone, and oh no, just in and out of the hands of his intended receiver.
That's Spivey, isn't it?
Yep, that's Caleb Spivey. They're looking for somebody a little tall, and I don't know why they didn't go after.
Oh, that's him throwing it.
Yeah, Morgan
throwing it.
Trying to catch everybody off guard, but I think Spivey was like, yeah, you caught me off guard.
So are we going to see Morgan as the oh boy. They call defensive pass interference. Offensive pass interference.
Offensive pass interference, and that may have been on Spivey.
Yeah.
He may have pushed somebody out the way. He's normally a defensive player, so pushing people out the way
that's normal.
That's what I do, Coach.
Right.
Interference, offense, 15 yards from previous spot, repeat first down.
First and goal on the 20. Wow.
Right now, things are not going the way that the Wildcats of Benjamin Russell would like them tonight, as the third quarter continues to dwindle. Johnson looking to the end zone, throwing, and incomplete. And Cedarian Morgan fell on that play, and now he's limping.
Well, he didn't have a chance. That ball was not catchable.
Okay, now he's walking
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Like, okay.
That ball wasn't catchable, but that was just not a well-thrown ball by Alan J. Johnson. That's just a bad throw, bottom line. That had something to do with his release point. Our old buddy Rick Rhodes could tell you all about that.
Yes.
He'd talk about that release point a lot, and that's that. When you look at Mr. Johnson there, that was not a good release.
Second down. Johnson's going to keep his feet, and he's going to run. Has room to run and into the end zone. Touchdown, Elijah Johnson. Another Mr. Sparky touchdown, his second touchdown of the night.
Well, that's just a great job by Elijah Johnson to get out of that mess in the middle. And, you know, a lot of coaches go for 2 here thinking you can score 8. And if you look at your sheet, all head coaches and offensive coordinators keep in their back pocket. I think when you look at 42-13, it says go for 1, but we'll see what happens.
Logan Rich on for the point after attempt. And it's good.
And it took only 3 minutes to score that time. So, you know, if Benjamin Russell can get the ball and score on 3-minute drives, then they got a chance to get back in this game. But the key to that is Helena running the clock. So here goes Johnson. He drops back. He's trying to find somebody. He breaks out to the right, and he sprints into the end zone. And, you know, coverage was man. So everybody was on the left side of the field, and Johnson runs it to the right pylon. Touchdown, and extra point makes it 42-14 here at the end of the third, with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
And remember, we'll have this beautiful trophy presented to the team that wins tonight. We'd like to thank our trophy company out of Pelham, Crown Trophy, for providing our trophies, not only for the team of the player of the team that wins, but also the player of the game. And our Crown Trophy, make sure you support them. They support high school athletics, and they're right there in Pelham.
I'll be surprised if Helena throws the ball 5 times the rest of the game. They're going to get a pooch kick.
And it's returnable. Spin move. And they're able to get some positive yards, and looks like that was Dominic Santiago or Ian Croker. They got the double numbers this time and that was.
I think that was Santiago.
Yep, it looks like that was Santiago with a nice spin move, keeping his legs.
Well, he keeps driving those feet. You see that? And that's a great thing for our young kids to see. When you're running the football, you keep pumping those legs, keep driving them with your shoulders square, making positive yardage.
So now Helena with 2:55 left to play. Here in the third quarter, they're going to run it. Jeremy Spratling with his first run of the drive gets about 5 yards.
And I'm sure they're going to take their time.
Less than 3 minutes left here in the third. Spratling, their leading rusher, with over 568 yards coming into tonight. They're going to let the clock work in their favor. Guida in motion. Flare pass out to Chris Brown, and they say it's incomplete.
Well, and that's the problem. When you throw the football and it's incomplete, what happens?
Stops the clock.
Stops the clock. And that's what you don't want to do if you're Helena. You want to either throw those really simple routes. It's almost like a sweep, but you know, you want that clock to keep running, and it's stopped now, and that's an advantage to Benjamin Russell.
5 seconds left on the play clock. They got to hurry up to get this play off.
Wow.
Ferguson, this time he's brought down and sacked, and that's P.J. Pulliam with the first sack of the night for the Wildcats.
Big senior for Benjamin Russell. P.J. Pulliam comes storming through that A gap and almost was untouched. We'll see that, I think. But Pulliam comes through that gap. Here he comes right here. Goes right through really goes through the B gap over on the left side, the right side of the offensive line. Does a great job.
Punting situation. Lewis punts it away, and it's going to take a Husky bounce, and will it make it to the 20? And it looks like it makes it right to the 21. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll see. Oh, we're going to stay right here as the Wildcats are going to try to take the field and see if they can get another score on the board.
Well, if they can
with
get
a minute 22.
If they can get another score on the board before this quarter ends, then they're in the game.
Yes.
But, you know, you're 3 touchdowns. You're 4 touchdowns behind right now. And, you know, you need to score as quickly as possible. And with people like T.J. Wilson, and when you look out there at the wide receiver and you look at number 1 and you see Sedarian Morgan out there, you're seeing a big-time player. And that's a player that's going to be playing on Saturday one day. And
no doubt.
If you can get the ball in his hands, he can score in a.
And it is our Children's of Alabama Smile Cam, one of the fan favorites. Children's of Alabama, we are here for every child, and I think most likely a lot of those young people right there may have been born at Children's of Alabama.
They have been.
Not so many moons ago. And now for Benjamin Russell, Elijah Johnson trying to orchestrate a momentous comeback if he can. They're going to keep it on the ground. And those little runs by T.J. Wilson are positive as far as yardage, but it does eat up the clock.
Boy, that's something when you look at Richie Busby, Helena and his coaches are mighty happy that they're running the ball.
Right at a minute to play. Johnson throws it long, and he does find a receiver, and that is Sedarian Morgan, and that's a Shops of Grand River first down. But now it is Morgan who's down, and it looks like he is hurting.
He's cramping.
Oh, yeah, it looks like he's cramping up.
He made a great catch, too. You'll see him. He leaves his feet, goes horizontal, and makes a really good catch. Had he caught that ball without having to leave his feet, he'd have scored a touchdown. And that's, you know, one of the things that Benjamin Russell has the propensity to do is run that go route. Good drop. Really good throw. Whew. Was he cramping before?
I think he was. That's why he laid out, because he couldn't go any further.
Yep.
And yeah, it was cramping up. So that just, you know, remind young people, you've got to hydrate a lot the night before you go out there on the field.
Well, if you wait till the night before, it's too late.
Well, now that's true too.
You know, if you don't, that's why we said, you know, after Friday night's game, you better start hydrating for next Friday night's game. And that's one of the things that parents, and then it's important that parents do that. You know, most high schools now have a trainer that kind of looks after all of that, and they hydrate all day. I know our players at UMS Wright, they hydrated every day in school, and every Saturday they come in for film, and they start hydrating then, and every look at that. That young man was on the camera, I think, last night in Sylacauga for the B.B. Comer-Beulah game.
And we want to send a special shout-out to King Boys Towing and Recovery. They make sure all of our scissor lifts and heavy equipment make it to all of our games on Thursdays and Fridays for Thursday Night Rival and Friday Night Rivals. Thank you to King Boys Towing and Recovery.
Ooh, he's up on that platform.
Yes, sir.
Good job. Appreciate all of our film crew. Wouldn't be here without them, I can tell you that.
First down, 4 wide receiver set. With Morgan on the side, they're going to keep it on the ground to T.J. Wilson. And he may have gotten 2 yards on the carry.
That's when your defensive coaches say, when you make a tackle, stay on him till the official comes and gets you off.
Yes, yes.
Last time, you know, you're down to 20 seconds in the quarter. So probably be the last play unless it's an incomplete pass or a touchdown.
15 seconds and counting here in the third quarter. Greer will go all the way out to the far side. Johnson, this time he's going to pay the price and go down. And it looks like that was Jonathan Roberto who tripped him up. But now it's Elijah Johnson who's down, and he may be cramping up.
Boy. On a cool night like tonight, you see this many cramps?
We take a break. We come back. We'll check on the status of Elijah Johnson and see how the third quarter will end. 42-14 is your score. The third quarter is ended. We got one more quarter to go. Stay tuned. Salvatore's, remember, after the game, mention the Friday Night Rivals at Salvatore's Pizza and Pasta and get 20% off of your order. Salvatore's Pizza and Pasta. Fourth quarter just underway here at Helena's homecoming, and yes, the score is correct for those who just tuned in. 28 points unanswered by Helena to start the first quarter, 35 points unanswered overall in the first half, and it was Benjamin Russell who's basically been playing catch-up all night, Coach.
Yeah, from the first bobbled punt snap, 1 yard touchdown run, they've been behind ever since that 1 yard touchdown run, less than a minute gone in the game. So Elijah Johnson comes back into the game,
along with Cedarian Morgan. So now they look like they're back at full strength, and he's going to throw a bullet pass and incomplete.
Like he was trying to throw that to Pierre Thomas, and he just ran a deep out route. Yeah, it's fourth down. That's right.
And they take over on downs, and now Helena will take over on offense. Defense holds. Normally you don't go for it at the start of the fourth quarter, but when you see the score, I'll let you know.
Yeah, they didn't have any choice but to go for it there. They're 4 touchdowns behind. I don't know that they'll get 4 possessions in this last quarter. So every possession now is a 4-down possession.
Nate Ferguson doing a great job at quarterback. This is his first year as a starter. Is Isaiah Kinney in motion? They're going to give it to Spratling. Spratling can't find anywhere to go. Caleb Spivey right there to wrap him up and help bring him down.
So now what you're thinking for Benjamin Russell, your defensive coaches and Coach Simmons is telling guys, we got to stand the ball carrier up and we got to try to rip it out of that ball carrier's hands. Ball carrier now is taught what you do is once you're in, you're in the possession of the defender, then you get on the ground. Get out. Don't try to struggle for an extra yard or two and give them the opportunity to take the ball away from you.
2nd and 7. Ward in motion. Here comes Ferguson. He's going to try to keep it. Gets beyond the line of scrimmage, keeps his feet and stretches forward. Looks like he has enough for the first down. He was eventually brought down. And now it's a Shops at Grand River first down for the Huskies.
You saw Torrey Ward coming in motion there from the left, outside left. You're going to see him come into your picture. And he's going to make a good block on that outside linebacker. And so that's what freed Ferguson up there. So good block by Torrey Ward. Hard-working young man.
1st and 10 into Wildcat territory. Tries to find a receiver and looks like he may have paid the price. Gavin Franks was the intended receiver.
Surprise, surprise. They don't mind throwing the ball.
Stops the clock with 10:33 left to play here in regulation.
A lot of pressure being put on them there by Spivey. Big old good-looking youngster, only a sophomore.
Only a sophomore, and he's 6'2", 240. So as they say, he's got some room to grow. 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 46-yard line of Benjamin Russell. And now we got another player down. Looks like the cramp monster has invaded.
It's like Micah Murphy.
Yeah, looks like Murphy. And he's down. We'll take a break along with him, and we'll see if he gets up on his own. You're watching Friday Night Rivals. Stay tuned. And the Air Experts, one of our proud sponsors. And remember, Air Experts, your HVAC local leaders, and they're working for you. Did you know that they have financing options? It allows you to get the comfort solutions you need and keeping your piggy bank intact. And here comes a long run here by Nate Ferguson, and Ferguson is into the end zone for a score, a Mr. Sparky touchdown for Nate Ferguson.
Well, he broke containment, and when you get outside the widest defender, it's a sprint to the end zone.
And it looks like a flag will negate it, and it's all coming back.
Wow. Well, was it a hold or a block in the back?
We're going to see. It looks like where the position of the flag, it could be both. But let's see. They're going to move them back.
Holding, offense, 10 yards from spot of the foul, still 2nd down.
So it's going to be 2nd down.
And let's see where it actually happened.
Well, it happened. See it right here. Had to happen on about
Oh, yeah, that outside arm grabs. That was a hold right there. Yeah. That offensive lineman grabbed it, and then they had another one right there. So, yeah, you pick whichever one you wanted. 2nd down now and 9. Pitch and catch over to Nathan Jones, who's back after And now we got some little pushing and shoving and some touching that's somewhat inappropriate. Now, Caleb Spivery is 6'2", 240.
Yeah.
And the guy he's grabbing is nowhere close to that.
He's about 5'8".
Well,
so.
you know, unless you're Mike Tyson, that does not work in your favor.
That's right. That was a little bubble screen right there, and that's a safe throw. That's like running a sweep or a running play, and so they threw the bubble screen, and you see big number 31 out there blocking for him. And I like the way they use 31. They offset him to the strength side, so that's just like a tight end, but they put him 2 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Ferguson finding a receiver incomplete, looking for Chris Brown.
And the clock stops.
9:05 left to play.
I think Coach Busby's saying that's enough.
Yes.
That's enough.
Yes.
Let's run the football and run the clock. Brings up a 4th and 5. So now the job for Austin Lewis is to kick the ball out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. And what you're taught is the receiver should have his heels on the 10, but he's back inside the 5.
Brought some pressure was Benjamin Russell, and it's going to take a Husky bounce, and they get it right there at the 6-yard line. And Calhoun was like, I'm just going to stand here, and that's dangerous because if it touched him, they could have recovered it.
Well, there's no question about it. He shouldn't have been there. You just shouldn't be there. If you're not going to catch the ball in the air, get away from the ball.
Take a break. We come back. We'll see if the Husky defense can keep Russell Wildcats pinned back. Stay tuned. Sign up today for online banking or download our free app. For more information, call 800-757-7302. At Win South Credit Union, we have some of the best interest rates on a home or a car loan available today. For more information, call 800-757-7302. Win South Credit Union. 8:50 left to play here in regulation, and Helena really had the homecoming vibes working in their favor.
Offense, half a distance to go.
Russell, and they
Still
keep
first
going
down.
backwards rather than forwards outside of 2 touchdown runs.
Well, and now you take the chance of getting a safety, or, you just, even if you throw the ball and there's no receiver out there, that's a safety.
Johnson throws and nobody's home.
He does stop the clock. He tried to run a go route and there was nobody going.
I wonder what happens when DoorDash does that. They deliver, nobody's at home.
Nobody's home.
Do they just eat? Do they eat it, or they bring it back? I'm not sure.
That's a good topic at 42-14. I like that.
Yeah, I'm
That's
just saying.
good.
I mean, he threw the ball to no one, but
That's
right.
right.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
Usually when you throw as a quarterback, you throw to open space and there's no receiver there. That's intentional grounding, and when you intentional ground from the end zone, that's a safety.
Coach, I don't know. We got 8:44 left, 42-14. Out of his own end zone is Elijah Johnson. Morgan gets it out of the end zone, puts his shoulder down, and gets out to about the 8-yard line.
You watch Mr. Morgan, and when he gets the football, he's trying to find somebody to hit. He does not fear contact.
He's got to be careful about that. Standing at 6'4", 215, people are going to think you're more like a Shannon Sharp, and they're going to put you at a tight end, and they're going to say, you want to use your shoulders. We're going to put you in a place where you can use your shoulders.
That's a good analogy. That's a real good analogy.
Because if he's 215 now, he goes to college, he may be 240 by the time he leaves college.
Yeah, well, you can bet he's going to college. Somebody's going to take good care of that young man.
Timeout call now by Benjamin Russell. Look, I remember a time way back in Louisiana, there was a running back, LeBrandon Tofield, played at LSU. They shut him down because he committed to LSU. Now, as they say, rumor has it.
Right.
The rumor has it was they needed him that next year. They said, hey, don't even let him play anymore. And they were like, well, we're going to the state championship game.
Right.
And he did not play in the state championship game. And they lost.
You're kidding me.
They lost, and he did not play.
The governor, you reckon the governor called the head coach or the principal or the superintendent and said, look.
We'll take a break. We come back, and we'll see. Oh, we're going to stay right here. Oh, our next game is one of the big ones in St. Clair County. Leeds taking on Moody. Yeah. But this time they're going to Moody. Last year we went to Leeds, and they have a very unique stadium.
Yeah.
But now we're going to Moody. And the Devils over there at Moody, you know, they really got it in for Leeds. They've created a monster over there at Moody, and a lot of people are still trying to figure out, you know, where did all these big guys come from out there in Moody? They're just walking out of nowhere.
Now you're opening a big can of worms.
Well, I'm just saying. You know, it's a growing community, and they're definitely growing with football players.
Right. And some of them live in Moody.
I think all of them do.
You think all of them
I think all of them do.
I think there's a question as to
no,
whether all
I think they all live there.
Okay.
They all live there.
All right, fourth down.
This is what gets people caught off guard. Moody was not necessarily the lead city up until recently.
Yeah.
So nobody knows where the city limits are.
Well, that's my question.
There
so
you go. So everybody knows Leeds, you know, but they don't know a lot about Moody.
I don't know what the city limits are out there.
But they've got a great program going.
They
have a
Jake
great.
Gaines. Yeah.
They're doing a great job, and this does not take a Wildcat bounce. And smart job there by the kicker. And don't slam the ball. Oh, he throws it all the way over to his own sideline.
You talk about Moody. You talk about the job that Jake Gaines has done there. Jake has done a great job. He was on Mark Freeman's staff here at Thompson.
Yes.
Played at UAB, and then I think went over and played at Georgia.
Georgia.
He went to Georgia and played, and he's done a great job as a head coach, and he's built a great program there at Moody. And you just gotta tip your hat to a young man who goes in and builds a program.
Yes.
Like he's built it.
Yes, and they didn't have any of this success until he got there.
That's right.
Keeping it on the ground as the clock continues to run are the Huskies, as Jeremy Spratling once again gets some more yards.
And Caleb Spivey in there to make the tackle, but boy, that's a big, good-looking kid too. He's a big sophomore, about 6'2", 230, 40 pounds. Good tackle there. And now that clock's doing exactly what Richie Busby wants it to do. It's just running. They're watching that clock over there, the play clock.
Spratling again. Now he has some room to run, keeps his feet, and gets down to about the 10-yard line. Great job by Jeremy Spratling.
There's a former football coach at Auburn named Ralph Shug Jordan, and every Sunday on his TV show, he talked about people running the football like this. Said he's running with reckless abandon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what Spratling does. When he runs the football, number 22 is running with reckless abandon. There we got another. Yeah.
And we've got another player down. And it's another Addiction Prevention Coalition timeout. And looks like it could possibly be cramps again.
Yeah, it is.
Kids at home, make sure you hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.
Well, and you know, you're exactly right. And you know, hydration is so important. And, you know, kids drink so many different drinks today. You don't drink those carbonated drinks. You drink about 85% water if you want to be hydrated. And then a sports drink, about 10 to 15%, if that's the percentage we use.
And good job to see him walking off the field. First and 10 now for the Huskies. Right at the 10-yard line. So first and goal from the 10. Right in the Window World red zone. Give it to Spratling. Spratling trying to find some room. Second and third effort gets him down inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. And that was Glenn on the tackle.
That's just good running by Spradling. And, you know, we tried to run it in that A gap, the center guard gap, and he pops it out a little wider, gets it in there. There he comes. And that's a good tackle there. Darius Glenn, Benjamin Russell, falls back in there and makes the tackle.
So now second and goal from the 4. Stoudemire along with Spratling in the backfield. Spratling keeps his feet, and he's going to get down to about the 1-yard line.
You notice when contact's made there, those big linemen get in there and try to push them forward in a mesh.
Yes.
And that used to be illegal, and now it's not something that's called. So here we go. They get a strong formation to the right, give the ball to Spradling going right there in the B gap. He's close. Well, that's mighty close.
And looks like we've got another player down. And looks like this is a player for Benjamin Russell. Looks like the cramp monster has caught them again.
Well, and they got a pretty long drive back home. And that's another problem. As you're going home and you're riding on a bus and you got kids cramping, that's a mighty painful. That's a tough ride home.
Yes, yes. And the coach is out there. Just make sure that his players are getting up and getting over to the side.
That's Glenn, I think.
Yep, that's Rodriguez Glenn.
Yeah. Now, what you want now is you both teams. You know the game's out of reach. You're not going to come back and win the game. You want to finish the game and limit injuries. You don't want injuries now. You just want to be as simple as you can be, and you want to, just be real vanilla. And let's get out of here without any injuries in the last 5 minutes of the game. It's almost like they're going to an overload or an unbalanced. When they put 31 over there to the tight end side, you got an unbalanced line. That's what they got over here on the right side now.
Spratling pushes his way in, and another touchdown for the Huskies.
Yeah, that's pretty tough to stop.
Another Mr. Sparky touchdown for Helena.
We call these slobber knockers back where I grew up. It's out of reach, and you just want to get everybody in that locker room healthy.
Lewis on for the point after attempt.
As much activity as Lewis has had tonight, he's not cramping. But he's been as active as anybody on the field. I mean,
yes.
He's had 7 kickoffs.
Yes, he's been a busy man.
He sure has. Here you see it. Unbalanced over to the right, and Spratling just gets into the end zone, and that's just good hard running.
49-14. Who would have thunk it after last year? Helena lost a heartbreaker to Benjamin Russell 20-17. And yes, he's got to get a lot of push-ups. He's got to get a lot of push-ups. Come on, keep going, keep going. Now see, he's not going all the way down. Come on now. We got to get all the way down. Military grade push-ups. I'm just saying. Those legs a little bit too far apart. Oh yeah, he's blowed out. He's blowed out.
There you go. Different kinds of celebration at different places.
There you go.
And what's the odds of this one going into the end zone? I'd say what, 6-1?
Oh, it's a little short, and it's returnable. And it goes down. So it'll be 1st and 10 inside the 20 at the 15 with 4:21 left to play. Here in regulation, as Helena is on a route, and a lot of people will look at this score and they're just going to try to figure out what happened.
Well, now you're going to see a lot of clean britches for Helena's. A lot of these kids getting to play that do a great job in practice, showing the other team's formations and stuff, and it's a great time to get some action for these backups.
All right, looks like we're going to have a new quarterback. And this is Jacob Buchanan. And we're going to have a new running back also.
Well, and really what Coach Grider is trying to do now is just give a quarterback a little bit of playing time and give these other kids some playing time as well. It looks like he's still got the offensive line intact. Those 5 guys have been there all night, have labored hard.
Clock continues to run. Christian Smith was the running back on that carry. They're going to give it to Smith again, and he's able to get a first down, and they'll be able to move the chains. Another University of Alabama first down. Remember, University of Alabama, we don't chase success, we define it. Learn more at legends.ua.edu.
Well, it's great to get these kids in the game and to give them an opportunity with the lights are on and their parents are in the stands, get a chance to play. They work hard every week, helping the team get ready to play their opponents.
Clock continues to run. As they say, when your backups come in, it's either something very good or something very bad. And for Benjamin Russell, this is not what they had planned.
No. Get that ball in that outside arm, son. That's you young running backs, you get that ball where you can keep that inside arm free. Get it in that outside arm, and that's, yeah, we've said that all night.
Kai Coleman there on the tackle. Just a sophomore. Clock continues to run. Both teams trying to make their way and keep pace with Calera and with Spain Park. Both teams currently undefeated this season. 3rd down and short. Buchanan throws it long.
Wow.
And incomplete.
Showed a big arm there, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Less than 2 minutes to play. And the cheerleaders for Helena will have a lot to cheer about for the rest of the night. And, not sure if they have the homecoming dance later tonight or tomorrow. Most of the time for homecoming, it's on Saturday.
It's on Saturday, yeah.
Buchanan. And here comes Smith. Oh, he fumbles the football and gets his own fumble, but it goes back.
Oh,
here comes Helena. Just like that. Great job. Oh. Ooh, and he takes a hit.
Out of bounds, and then a fan standing on the
sideline.
sideline.
Kai Coleman does a great job, and one of the fans on the sideline pays the price, but great job by Kai Coleman to be Johnny on the spot to get that one. What a play.
This will be something.
I mean, this is like a basketball play.
It is. Bounces off one. There goes the ball. It bounces up off his shoulder pads, and Ty Coleman catches it, and he's going to get knocked out, and well, we don't see this. But the fan gets the toughest lick here. That's why you got to protect that football, young man. Here he goes. Here goes the fan.
Boom.
There he goes.
Yeah. And he's just saying, see, that's the joy of youth. They can take those licks and keep on going.
Yeah, us old guys sure don't want to take that lick.
Anybody over 40, they would have been like, call the ambulance for us now. And there he goes. There's Coleman. He's trying to make it, and he gets pushed out of bounds, and whoop, boom.
Got a big final in 7A. Auburn defeated Central Phoenix City 38-33.
Wow.
That's a big win for Keith Etheridge.
Wow, Auburn may be turning the page. Timeout called now by Benjamin Russell with 1:32 left to play. And this will be the point after attempt.
Okay, I think Smitty Coach Grider wants to talk to the referee. I don't know what the question could be.
Oh, I think this is what's happening. They're saying that he was knocked out of bounds before he scored, but they gave him credit for the touchdown.
I wonder why they were lining up for a touchdown.
Well, they let him do it.
I think he was out of bounds. I don't.
That's what it appeared to be. And coach is like, wait a minute now, we're getting beat, but don't just give it up. Let's take another look at it, Coach. He gets knocked out of bounds well before.
Oh
yeah. He's way out.
Oh, he's out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Oh.
Yeah, see, that's why you're young. See, me, I would have need the chiropractor immediately.
Yeah, that's a bad call. That's a missed call. That should not have been missed. That should not have been missed.
Okay, they took the points. They took the points off. Are they taking the points off?
No,
yes, they are. So they're going with victory formation.
They got 55 on the scoreboard.
Well, I think they're just slow to do it.
Okay.
But they're gonna and they kneel it.
No, they weren't going to kick it. They're going to stay with the touchdown. It looks like they're staying with the touchdown. I think Richie's trying to say,
he's like, we didn't score. And there's Kai Coleman. He's like, well, do I get to keep my turnover chain? I just need to know if that's happening. Okay, let's see what's going on. And they will keep the touchdown, so it will be a touchdown for Kai Coleman.
Yeah, that's I don't really know what to say on that. That's, we really believe in building up officials, but that's a tough situation.
That's what they called on the field.
Yep. And they were blocked out. I'm telling you, with all the people that were down there and the official just couldn't see, where he was knocked out. That's tough.
Rodney Greer.
So now Kai Coleman gets his first career touchdown. And People's Bank of Alabama kickoff. Greer on the return, and Greer is down right at the 12-yard line. Minute 16 left to play. Let's see who they bring out at quarterback. And for both teams, they've got to really rally the troops because they do have region games coming up soon.
Yeah.
Hey, you're inside the box, Reed. Kai's got force.
Fumble on the play. Trying to keep it going and reversing field. Wow. And that is a tackle for a lost Christian Smith, and it just seems as though there had some signs of hope, and then the bottom fell out. Good tackle there by Ryan Spann. Less than a minute to play.
Second and 14, Benjamin Russell from their own 3-yard line.
You got to give a lot of credit to this Helena team and the coaches. They got an early lead and did a great job preserving that lead. And, they've just played almost flawlessly in this second half. And Benjamin Russell has kept on fighting. It's just one of those nights where you just pack it up, get in the bus, and go home. And, sometimes we don't even show that film. We just, we just put it in a package and leave it there. So.
And homecoming 2024 will be very sweet for the Huskies as they walk away with a 55-14 shellacking of Benjamin Russell Wildcats. We'll take a break. Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll wrap things up from Helena as the Huskies win homecoming 2024. Stay tuned.
Chelsea 5-0.
As the coach and our Whataburger player of the game.
Coach, certainly a statement win here today. You don't win by 40-plus points without it meaning a little more. What does that say about this Helena team this year?
Well, like I told you, we had a tough 2-3 weeks, last couple weeks, but they did exactly what we asked them to do, rebound, learn from those losses. 3 incredible teams that we lost to, 2 of them really close games, so they rebounded like Helena kids do.
Yeah, and certainly not a bad team you guys beat here tonight. What's it really kind of say that so much effort on all 3 phases of the football tonight has been put forward? What's that say about this team?
Well, we had a great week of practice. Good senior leadership. A lot of guys made plays tonight. We came out, started fast, put a lot of pressure on them. I couldn't be prouder of them.
Yeah, it certainly was a crazy game to watch tonight. Usually the amount of points that you scored is more than what we see from both teams. We're going to go ahead and give this award to you here tonight. That's for winning our game of the week. And then if you wouldn't mind, if I could get Nate over here. Nate, you are player of the week. Obviously one heck of a performance out here today. You know, what's it mean being here? Just a great win to be out here surrounded by your guys. What's this mean to you and the team?
Yes, sir, it means everything. And just being able to come out here and play on Friday nights with the guys I love. We all played for each other, guys getting excited about blocks, doing the little things right. And that's what leads to big wins.
Yeah, it's the little things right, and it was so much on all sides of the football. There was so much excitement coming from you guys on the field here tonight. Is that something that's just to be expected of Helena, that effort? Tell me a little bit about it.
Yes, sir. Hey, we had a great week of practice, like Coach said. Big bounce, learning from the previous weeks, and we're just ready to go finish out the year strong.
And what's next for Helena?
We're back.
Let's go.
To Helena and to Nate Ferguson, our Whataburger player of the game. And let's go to our Whataburger play of the game. And it involves Nate Ferguson and their #1 receiver, Torrey Ward. Our Whataburger, make sure you go to the Whataburger app. And Ferguson finds Ward in a beautiful pass and catch. And that is our Whataburger What a Play of the game. Nate Ferguson to Torrey Ward. And we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Our final score, 55-14. Your final thoughts, Coach?
Well, I thought it was a great game. Helena did a great job bouncing back from a couple of tough weeks. And, you know, they, like he said, they may be back. They got a lot of tough games to play in front of them. And, you know, they're very well coached. But I tell you, I'm excited for Benjamin Russell. They'll overcome this. They'll come back, and they'll be good next week, and they'll get better and better. That's what Smitty Grider coach teams do.
Thank you for watching tonight. Final score from Helena. Huskies win 55-14. Can't wait to see you next week. Thanks for watching.